Pickmeshas. Really think it's very interesting to talk about. Something I really want to talk about today. Like I said, Pickmeshas is a topic. Several other points underneath there. Number one, black women need a male savior. Number two, going against black women for men who are grifters. Number three, black women. I want to talk about the black women that were unalived during a conjugal visit, because that all goes underneath this umbrella of pygmies, even if you don't acknowledge that. Number four, in the black community and even in the world, people try to act like, black women are not supportive of black men, or black women don't really bend over backwards for black men, but they do. Black women are still very, 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 very much male-centered. And number five, why is it more valued, anything, when a man says it? Why is any topic, anything that is said about women or women's lived experiences much more valuable when a man says it? Number six, why can't black women admit the truth about so many different things, regarding, pick-meism? That's number six. And number seven, no grace for me and no grace for any women when it comes to another man. I think that we have to admit that that's a lot of what is the culture in the black community. For black women, not to receive grace, but men to receive all the grace for mistakes, for anything. Hey, how you doing, BG Lavish? But anywho, y'all, I'm gonna just chill, see if I can get some people up on the panel to talk about the topics and on the screen or whatever. And if I cannot, then I'll just start the live maybe a little later. But hopefully I can get some people up. Yeah. So we'll see. Okay, because I do think that this is an important conversation to have, for sure. Like I said, I really think that it's like, I feel in order for us to do better as black women, there are certain things that I feel like we as black women don't want to acknowledge, or we want to act like it's not as a big problem. It's not as a big problem as it is, but it is. And black women need a male savior. That's what they're looking for. That's why anytime you see a man that even says anything remotely positive, or even if you feel centered by him in the smallest way, even if he tells you that he's not centering you, black women go crazy. And it's because there are so many black women that need a male savior. And, it's a lot of women out here that I feel like on social media are in weird parasocial relationships with dudes, men online that they don't even know, that they feel like they know them because they heard them say some things that are positive about women on TikTok or on Instagram or on YouTube or on Twitter or whatever. But, a lot of the times when anyone is saying, men specifically, are saying positive things about women, or saying, oh, no, I understand the patriarchy this, the patriarchy that, it's rooted in a cash grab. It's rooted in clout chasing and a lot of other things. And I wish that more black women would admit that they don't care about any of that. They're just looking for a savior, so to speak. But anyway, like I said, I'm hoping that I can get some people up here on the panel. If not, I'll start the live later. But hopefully I can get somebody on and we can have a conversation about this. And if you don't agree with me, that's cool too. You can speak uninterrupted for 2 minutes, and I'll let you do that. And you can tell me what, did you disagree with. And also, I think that this whole thing of black women putting the needs of men above their own, or being so desperate for a man or some type of male presence or influence, is the exact reason why those black women those two black women were unalive during conjugal visits. That's exactly why. Because they were centering that man so much, because it's like, if there's a man that's in prison for unaliving people, what would make you feel like he deserved access to your body for y'all to have intercourse? Like, what? Brandon, I'm not quite for sure what you mean, but I can send you an invitation and you can get up and ask me. Let's see here. Yes, era dreams. That's how I feel as well. Let's see here. And I wish that, like I said, more black women would really admit the truth that they really are looking for male presence, and they're looking for a man to validate them. And that's the reason why when women creators say things that are validating to you, it doesn't mean anything unless you hear it from another woman. Yet another man, excuse me. The only way it matters is if you hear from another man. But another woman can validate your experiences as a woman, tell you she understands, tell you that she's going through the exact same things that you have, tell you all of these things, and it means nothing unless a man comes up and says, oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. Even though he doesn't truly understand, because he can never experience what you're experiencing. Hey, how you doing, Felly? Thanks so much. So like I said, I wanted to talk about this, but this is a time that I don't normally go live. So hey, how you doing, Mrs. Mack? Exactly, BG. That's exactly why Derek Jackson got so big. And what's crazy, when you talk about Derek Jackson is still popular. Even though everybody knows that Derek Jackson is a phony and a hypocrite and is a cheater and is everything that he was warning women against, that man still got over 1 million on Instagram. That man still got, I think, like 1 million on YouTube as well. And women still buy his books and listen to him, which makes absolutely no sense. And to me, that's like scary, super scary. But nobody talks about that. And I think that until women are more open to talking about the fact that there's a lot of Pickmesha-ism going on in the black community amongst black women, that these men will be allowed to come in and take advantage of black women and black girls, because black women are so desperate for a man to be around, which is unfortunate. And like I said, it's something that it's like, I feel like it's so many black women that don't want to admit it. Like, I made a video and there were, I don't know, I just think it's a problem, honestly. Really. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Mac. But anyway, like I said, I really want to talk about this and delve deep into this topic, but I don't want to just do it that is just me. So I'm going to give it like 5 minutes, y'all. I'm going to see if I can get some people in the box to talk about it. If not, I will come back later, either later today or later tomorrow with this exact topic. I'll do it again. I'm sorry to hear that, BG Lavish. I'm sorry to hear that, sis. And I also think that, like I said, what we have to talk about too is that there are so many black women that are willing to extend grace to all of these problematic men, or they'll say like, oh, this man now, he's uplifting black women, but he has a previous history of disrespecting women or degrading black women or all of these things. And they'll say like, but he's changed now. he's a good man now. He cares about us now, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that grace that is extended and given, yes, exactly, Miss Michelle, the excuses that's made for them, the same women that will make excuses for black men or men in general, they will never make excuses for a black woman. Never. There's no grace. Like I noticed, like it was like a couple times, like in my comments on YouTube, it was some people that irritated me, right? And so it was people like, oh, you know what, you got irritated with her. So you're not supposed to do that. I'm gonna unfollow this channel. But then I see them following problematic men on YouTube or TikTok. And to me, that's very strange. Like there's just no type of grace given for black women at all. And I feel like we don't talk about it enough until maybe it affects like each one of us individually. But I do feel like it's a good conversation to have, because how can we stop it if we don't talk about it? How can we stop it if we do not talk about it? Yeah. Which is crazy. But anyway, like I said, we want to talk about it. Black women need a male savior. They need a man to save them. They need a man to love them. They need a man to speak life into them. And that's what it is. And then what's crazy to me is there are so many black women that will come and say, oh, I don't need a man. I don't care about these men. Yes, you do. And I really believe that the main women that say that are the main women that are lying. For real. Truthfully. Because if you didn't need a male savior, the minute a man said anything positive or anything and, affirming to you, you wouldn't start opening up your legs, opening up your wallet, and, defending him to the death. You get what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't be doing that if that isn't what you wanted all along. And to me, that is very scary to me, that type of thing is going on. And not only that is going on, but that the women that are doing it seem to be completely unaware that that's what they're doing. That's what's even scarier. I honestly, I think it is terrifying. And then to see black women go against other black women for men who are only grifting, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I just don't get it. Let's see here. Hazel Eye says this prompt is what's crazy. What's wrong with men and women needing one another? It's natural. Hazel Eyes, I honestly, if you don't have the comprehension to understand what I'm saying, or you didn't hear it all, why even make a comment? Huh? Nobody said that men and women can't care or need for each other. I'm talking about women that are looking for a man to save them online. And regardless, you shouldn't need anybody. You should rely on yourself. If you have somebody that you can rely on, that's a benefit and a bonus. Like, what are we talking about? What? Oh my goodness. Crazy. I just, what? This is exactly what I'm talking about when you have women that say that. But I can guarantee you, Rouge, you said, is this for the West or globally? I think it's globally, personally, in my opinion. Yes, you.
Well, that you put it that way, then, I guess. But I guess y'all call women who's actually been wifed and loved pickmeshas. I don't know. It's more. It's more women than men in the world. So
It's
all
not
of us
more
ain't
women
no
than men in the
men.
world, Hazel Eyes. If you look at it on Google, it's actually more men than women in the world. That's number one. So you be wrong about that. And no, I'm not. Okay, so what I
I'm
believe
telling you,
is,
that's what they do. That's what
nobody's
that
ever called
means.
me a pickmeisha. Really? I mean, I might have had a couple random women that weren't aware of the word call me that, but most people don't call me a pickmeisha because I'm not one. Being a pickmeisha isn't you having a man or you having somebody by your side. It's the idea of centering a man over your own welfare, the welfare of the others, lowering your morals and standards just to have a man around, expecting random men, putting faith in them, and caping and mammying for them, and they're not returning the favor.
Well,
All of those
everybody
things.
has a different definition of it then because I didn't heard different definitions. Yours makes sense to me. But when I'm reading the prompt, it's like black women need a male savior going against black women for men who, what is that, grift?
Yes.
Black women unallowed during a conjugal visit. I mean, I don't get. Everybody got different meanings to what pickmesha is.
Pick me
I've been
is the
called a pickmesha because I value black men or men, period, and I, you know what I'm saying, respect them and loyal to them. I lost friends because I was not wanting to do certain activities because it would have disrespected who I was with. So, you know, that you explained it better, I agree with you. You know, that's all I needed to hear was an actual explanation of what did you mean, because I hear it on these internets all the time, and usually it's just because you a wife or you in a relationship.
I think I've said it a lot of times that that's
Yeah.
not the right definition of a pick me. Having a man or having a man in your life that respects you and cares for you. That's not what it is. I will say that some people do use it like that, but that's not the right way to use it. The right way to use it is how I used it. But yeah. So hopefully we got an agreement now. And the other things that you mentioned, those are just
Yes, the
questions
male
and topics.
centered though, risking your children's lives and inviting anyone in your life just to have a man accepting any type of behavior and mental illness. Yes, that's a pick Misha then. Okay. But everybody doesn't look at it as that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that would definitely be one, allowing your kids to be harmed just so that you can keep a man around. I think that's another very clear cut, instance of being a pick me child. I would hope that anybody would agree with that one.
Okay, well I apologize. I agree.
Oh, no
If it's
problem, no
causing
problem.
any harm or any disruption in your life or making you fail or go backwards or down in you, then yes, I agree with it being a pygmisha. But like I said, I've been called that simply because I feel like we shouldn't go against each other, and you know what I'm saying? If it's loving, if it's caring, if it's nurturing, if it ain't harming your pockets or your kids or your feelings or you physically, it's okay to try love. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people fear it. A lot of people run from it. A lot of people been hurt so many times and so much by people they don't even trust the next man that comes along or woman. You know, so I just hope it don't keep a lot of women from just accepting love when it do arrive in their life, and hopefully they know the difference and use their discernment. Cause
All
I
right.
see a lot of women treat men who come in their life and try to be that good man to them or try to be loyal and respectful to them, and they dog them. You know, so
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I don't believe that there isn't a extreme population of men being abused and taken advantage of by women. I don't. And if you want me to be real, I think that that whole thought process that a lot of women say, especially when they come up and say, "Oh yes, I'm here for the men and I want to defend and uplift the man and protect them," it's oftentimes at the
yeah,
expense of
all
throwing women
men
under
ain't
the bus.
men. Yeah,
Yeah,
all men ain't men.
I think that that could be a little bit of a problematic, troubling behavior because the majority of black women are not abusing and degrading men and throwing them under the bus. Black women are a vulnerable population, and that's the reason why I make the live in the first place. As far as pick niches, because there are a lot of black women that aren't that are ashamed to admit that they are still very male centered and they really want a man, and they're doing actively the things that I'm talking about doing anything and everything to get a man or to get a male's attention. So I that's something that is almost brainwashed into black women in the black community. So I don't think like when they're like women like yourself that come up and say, oh, these women are out here treating these men bad and abusing these men. Oh, there are
When
all these good men around and they're just mistreating them. I don't believe that's true at all. I don't.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was answering the comments. Oh, when I say all men ain't men, all boys don't grow and become respectable men. Some of them are just males with a male body part, and they're still little boys and immature. That's what I mean by all men aren't men. Some are just males, grown boys. So that's what I mean. And
Let me
yes, I do have a man.
hold on. We're gonna go here to hey Rouge. I want to see if you'll get up here because I don't understand what you're talking about. Like you said, a pick me is a woman that's holding other women accountable. Not true at all. And you know, that's my thing is that a lot of y'all say things that's not even true. Cause why would you think that? And
Wait,
what is
say that
holding women
again. I didn't
accountable?
hear you.
I said, what is a woman? What is a woman that's holding other women accountable?
I think maybe I need to explain what I wrote.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
said being hello?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So what I was saying is a pick me does not equal a woman that's keeping that's making sorry, I forgot the word. Holding another woman accountable. That's what I said.
Okay, okay, okay. I
So
thought that
yeah.
you were a man, to be honest.
No, 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 no. Like I completely agree with you, but I feel like if it's like because this is like the
My bad,
exception,
my bad.
obviously. Go ahead, sorry.
I said my bad. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was just saying, like, obviously, I'm talking about the exception. Like, if a woman's really doing bad, and that's like a really small percentage where it's okay to keep her accountable, but it's really rare. So, but I completely agree with you.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I misread your comment, and honestly, I thought that you were male anyway. Like when I saw, look,
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't know. So sorry, sorry for
no
the ignorance.
worries. Okay, I'm gonna
Um.
drop off.
Okay, okay.
Bye.
Yeah. So you guys, like I said, I hope that we can have these conversations and um make the definition of what pick me really is, just like Rouge was saying. Hopefully, I'm saying her name correctly. That it's not a woman that's holding other women accountable. It's not a woman that's in a relationship with a man or being loved correctly. It's none of that. But it is a lot of the things that I have underneath this prompt. You know what I'm saying? And I think that until we can unpack that, I don't think that you know yeah, and Coco says you can have a man and still be a pick me. I hope y'all know that. That's exactly correct as well.
Overstood. Like she
Yeah.
said, she specified the males with the mental illness, the males who are harming your family members and people around you, the males who are bringing drama into your life, causing chaos, and you're accepting it just because you want a male in your life. When she specified that, then I agree. But like I said, I've been on plenty of prompts, and just simply because you're a wife or you're in a relationship, people call you pick me's. They do. They don't specify what the male is doing to you in the relationship. They just say you a pick me because you love and honor and respect your man.
Go ahead, Jess. Hey sis,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Hey, I'm well. Good morning. I just came up because I usually say in the comments, but there were a lot of dangerous rhetorics that I heard come out of Hazel's mouth, and I just wanted to like bring light to it, or just point it out, just if she didn't recognize. See, the
Yeah, go
problem
ahead,
is
Jess.
there's a lot of internalized um misconceptions that I already hear come like flowing out of your mouth. And of course, I know that's the conditioning that happening to women in a whole. That's happening. But what I need you to do is actually recognize it, because you're calling grown men boys with grown bodies. No, they are men degenerate
Mentally,
men,
they are
but they
borderline.
are men. So no. But the thing is, we keep on as a whole. We like to infantilize them and keep them in their, like in a younger, like
Oh, ma'am, everybody
while
don't
our
have the
women.
capacity to
Hazel, let her
to.
speak. Hazel, let her speak. Stop interjecting and interrupting on people, please. Don't do that. It's rude. Go ahead, Jess.
We keep on trying to like give them the like an excuse, like they're not matured enough yet or whatever, like for the wrongdoers and all that other stuff. I noticed that in a whole we tend to do that a lot sometimes, and that's where the problem lies. Whereas in when little girls go through stuff, they're fast, they're this, they're that. There's a lot of one-sided stuff that you have to recognize that's not working when you're coming to actually holding people accountable and seeing what is what. So what the situation is, why you're being called a pick me, I'm noticing in the comments and everything like that, is you're excusing a actual issue. If it's not your man, fine. That's not what we're saying. But we're saying that there's a rampant issue in a whole, and that's what you're ignoring.
Agree with it already. Y'all just mad already. Y'all come in this motherfucker mad.
Okay, try
So
not to cuss one
I'm
and
sorry, y'all come in here mad, ready to
okay,
jump down.
Hazel. Let me say this, ma'am. I've never had an interaction with you. I have had an interaction with several of the other ladies on the panel. So let's just try to keep the conversation, cordial. We can debate and disagree, but let's not use curse words against each other,
When
and
they
let's not
calling
make
me
it hostile.
slow and when they calling me
Well, I
names,
didn't. I didn't
it
do that,
gets you
Hazel.
Nobody on the
sometimes.
panel called you slow. I don't
No,
think.
I'm talking about in the
Stop
comments.
reading
Yeah,
the
but you
comments,
can't talk to the
Hazel.
people inside the box like that. They
Stop.
haven't
Stop.
done that,
Stop.
Hazel.
I,
Stop reading the comments. The comments will take you to hell, Hazel.
oh, okay. Well,
to
Okay.
me to me is not is about conversation. Then that's what I'm trying to say. It's not about getting on you, it's not about calling you anything or whatever like that. What we all have to realize is that there's a lot of internalized things that we have to deal with and get through. And what you may not notice, even the little phrases and little rhetorics, like ways that you're thinking about things, that's what you have to kind of focus and correct in a sense.
I've never excused it. I just use my discernment now. When it comes to choosing men, I use my discernment for as their development mentally. A lot of them haven't developed mentally as a grown man who can make sure you're safe. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wasn't excusing it. I was
But
just
all of them
pointing
are
it
not
out.
like that, Hazel. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop emphasizing them
Yeah,
because at the
I wasn't. I'm
end,
not emphasizing them. I'm just pointing it out that a lot of them aren't there yet, and they probably will never get there.
but we
And when you
can't say
see
they're
one,
boys though, Hazel. That's the whole
well, I call them
tagline.
males also. I said every man is not a man. They said, what did I mean? And I said some men are just males with male body parts. You know what I'm saying? They're not grown men. A grown man to me is a man who takes accountability and responsibility and take care of his women and children around him, and you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying, provide a safe space for people. And no, I'm not slow, I'm not very communicative, I'm not very verbal, I'm more action. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have a hard time articulating sentences and words 'cause I'm not a verbal, or I'm not a social person, I don't talk much.
Okay.
So but
So,
my
but
brain
that's not the
works
reason
just
why I came
fine.
up because that ain't
No,
nothing that
not
I
you.
usually
I
hear.
was my bad. I
But
was
the
speaking
reason
to
why
the
I came
comments.
up, Hazel, the reason why I came up, you made a statement about them having a mental illness. We have to stop that as well. That is a very dangerous rhetoric to give men or women a set of mental issues that they don't have. And that's what let me tell you this, Hazel, no disrespect. But back in the 40s and 50s, men used to do that to women. Men used to do that to women when they assault women. We have to stop that because a person who truly has a mental illness or is the first thing they say they're unstable, they're mental unstable. They try to take people kids and stuff like that. We got to stop that. Because if you haven't professionally worked in a mental setting or a clinical setting and you don't know those diagnoses or those all those dual axes and stuff like that, you cannot say a person is mentally unstable. You can't do that. You don't know what their background is. You don't know what they've been through. We have to stop doing that because on this app, I see a known creator tell a black woman that she was unwell or unstable. That's so disrespectful to me. You don't know anything about her background to even say that she's mentally unstable. And that's what people do. That's what predators do to get their point across, to tell other people around us that something is wrong with her, to diminish what she's saying that you have done or said to her. We got to stop doing that.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's wrong with them. I just deem it mental illness and get them
We
away from
can't
them.
do that though. You don't have the right to do that. You don't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is. That's just the word I came
So
up with
Well, you have to change
from
your vernacular
experience.
on that, Hazel. You have to change your vernacular because if you don't know what it is, just say I don't know what it is. You can't put
Right.
a label on there.
You right.
right, degeneracy is degeneracy. Like you can't give them an out. You label it something like that or whatever. Is they're gonna live in that rather than actually be accountable.
I don't deal with it.
You,
But
you
I'm
know what,
just
Hazel? You know what? Also, people who commit those type of crimes, they use it. They use it as a scapegoat. The
I
people who really,
understand.
who,
I totally agree.
you know, we have to be selective with the words that we use. And if you don't know what word to use, just say you don't know. Like you said, I'm not really articulated about how to have a conversation when it comes to certain things, and and that's why I didn't even slam on you, you know, because usually I'll just you know what I'm saying, go all the way in.
I shouldn't
But
say articulate. I should say I'm not verbal. I don't really like
but
to
no, you use the right
verbally have
word.
conversations.
You use the
But
right word,
I'm
Hazel.
not
But
slow or
no, I didn't
I'm
say
not.
that, baby.
Yeah, yeah. And I wasn't saying y'all. I was.
No.
That was when I was talking to
Again,
the
stop reading
comments.
these comments. They will take you to hell. You just have to be. This is the thing, Hazel. When you want to get up on these panels to have a conversation and you're not well versed in those conversations, you have to, instead of thinking people that are attacking you, it gonna be some comment people that just want to go ahead on and put your hands up. But listen to the people on the panel that's giving you insight. Because if you don't know what the topic is about and you're not well versed in it, you might need to research. It is okay to research. Just I tell anybody, if you're not well versed in a situation or a conversation, go spend some time and research it and then come back and then you'll have the knowledge to have these conversations.
Just talk and listen to y'all and learn as I.
That too. But you got to be open to it. You have to be
Yeah, I
open
am.
and
That's
involved
why
to
I
do
told
that.
her when she explained what she meant by Pickmesha. Then I ultimately agreed. You know what I'm saying? But I know other prompts they just automatically deem you that when you're in a relationship or you're a wife. So that's why I wanted to like get more insight of what is a pygmisha to her. Like I've been asking a lot of people and they have all different definitions. Everybody has their own definition.
All right, you guys. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is all like a very important conversation to have. All of this, like I said, because I do think that there are black women, like on the panel or whatever that are very thinking about what's going on. However, there are a lot of black women that I feel like live in a state of delusion about really what's going on, and until we call out that there are a lot of women that engage in these behaviors, I don't think that we'll ever be able to get anywhere. And I do think that now I will say that I have heard the term, pick me or pick me sure whatever misused sometimes. But I do think the majority of the time, if I'm gonna keep it 100, I do think the majority of the time a woman that calls a woman to pick me, there's a reason for it, and I think it's used in the correct way. I do. I think that she's exhibiting some type of male-centered behavior. Dare I say, pick me behavior that made the woman be like, yeah, no, you on the wrong type of time. And I really do believe that. And I think that being a pick me is way in the proper sense of the word. Let me make sure that I say that in the proper sense of the word is very prevalent in the black community. And right now, when you're on social media, oftentimes you see all these lies where black men are talking about everything that is wrong with black women, about whole black women don't love us, or black women's hair, weaves, makeup, body count, baby mamas, single mothers, all of this stuff that very rarely we are able to sit and take stock in the fact that half of the things that the men say about black women aren't even true. They only say these things to make Black women be more susceptible to being taken advantage of, more open to being their doormat in the first place. Because Black women, it's so many times Black men say that Black women aren't supportive. Black women want these baller men that are making millions of dollars and they got to be like 6'5" and all of this other stuff. And it's not true. If that was the case, the Black community would die out. I see Black women every day with men that are not on their level or on their level, but most of the times a little bit lower than their level every day. Black women, in my opinion, of all the associations that I've had with Black women in my life, even back when I used to do hair, which was exclusively to Black women, an occasional person of another race, but basically 95 to 98% Black women. Black women are very supportive, very nice, don't mind spending money if they like you or if they like your services, don't mind uplifting you and encouraging you. And they do the same thing to Black men a lot still. Now, of course, there are Black women that have, divested away from Black men, or they have decentered Black men, or they so-called burn the cape, which I have done myself. But Black women still overwhelmingly engage with Black men and want to hear Black men's perspectives. That's exactly why you have so many Black men that come on this especially this app right here, TikTok, and say one kind word about Black women. Oh, I understand Black women are stressed out. Next thing you know, that's being shared everywhere. Now the man got 3 billion followers, making a bajillion dollars a month because of the fact that he said one kind word about Black women, and Black women want to hear that coming from a Black man rather than hear it coming from a Black woman. So I think a lot of times we have to admit that Black women are way more male-centered than we like to pretend, and that we put a lot of stock in men versus women. Because a woman can get on here on this app and tell you what you know to be true because it's her lived experience every day. And no one cares. Black women don't care about that. Not all of them, but there's a nice little percentage. And it's over 50%, in my opinion. But then a man says it, it doesn't even matter if he has a troubling history of saying other things previously. Black women finna eat it up, eat it up, eat it up, eat it up. And that is a sad situation. And I think that's something that we need to unpack as far as trusting in each other as sisters more than we trust in men. And that's not to say that you can't have a man or whatever. But if you're trusting in men over your fellow sisters, or you're putting the words of a man as far as having more importance than women like yourself, that's a problem. That is a pick me, period. And that's why I put the Black women the 2 Black women that were unalived, doing conjugal visits, because they're the perfect example of women that put their own needs they put a man's needs above their own. Because y'all over there trying to go give some of the cookie to men that are in jail for heinous crimes. One man was in prison for unaliving 4 people, a serial killer. And you over there trying to go there and give him some, only to end up getting choked out and unalived. Like, that's insane to me. And I struggle to really find deep empathy, because it's like, at what point do you have to take accountability for your own actions on putting a man above yourself? And that is something that a lot of Black women still do to this day in 2025. And even if you have a man, even if you have a husband, boyfriend, fiance, whatever, you don't have to do that. And that is unhealthy, in my opinion, to put any man above yourself and your self-esteem and your well-being. No. And a lot of Black women still do it very heavily. And I think that's a nasty conversation that nobody wants to have. But was you about to say something, Jess?
I would.
I was actually going to say too, it's like a blatant show of how your low self-esteem and your low self-worth, because you're talking about these people entertaining these men in jail and now in prison, and then you're thinking about all that time you're wasting, your precious time you're wasting on them, yourself, your energy, all that you're wasting on them, for people who can't even reciprocate anything much than giving you sweet nothings, when telling you sweet nothings when you see them. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Why are you giving yourself like a low that setting a low bar for yourself like that. So even with that and typical day-to-day things, not only just for those particular situations, we're seeing this on a norm in a day-to-day life. You know, like when we see these guys have like how many different families all over the place and whatever, and don't really care, haven't talked to their children in how long or whatever the situation is. If we got to start looking at all the little things that mount up to their degeneracy, like and steer away from that, because it's not, we're not worth that. We need to start caring for ourselves a little bit more than that.
All right, Jess.
A lot more than that. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. All right, let me go down here to Diamond that just came up. You had something to say, Diamond?
Yeah. I agree with number one. I think a lot of people, I think black women, they do feel like they need a male savior, like it's more valid when a man says it. I don't know if I should bring up the individual, but I don't know if I should. But he came out, and I think you know the individual I'm talking about, and it came out that he was a fraud. He was letting black men on his panel disrespect black women.
Hey, Diamond, I don't know who you're talking about. Go ahead and say it. It's no big deal.
Controversial Shannon.
Okay.
And I knew he was a fraud from day one. I knew he was a fraud. And so it's I still see a lot of black women supporting him, but yeah, I think I have the mindset of, at the end of the day, a black male is still a man first. So when he comes out and he talks about black women, sorry, I wasn't really expecting for you to call on me, but he's just more trying to get validation, and these black men know how black women get done dirty, so they feel like, well, I'm just gonna be her savior. They know how desperate a lot of black women are for that savior, so they try to profit off of us. And again, I already knew he was a fraud in general. I just already knew it. So when it came out, he was already having a lot of questionable men. Not only that one guy that was on his panel, he was already having questionable men on his panel. So I just look at black male as their male first. So they're going to identify with mostly black men. That's just how it is. If that makes sense.
And I just wanted to let you know you are truly the only person who gave a valid definition of a pickmesha or a pick me. I've just heard so many definitions, like I said, and I just want to let you know that you are literally the only person I heard on her truly explain why it's such danger to us. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you, Hazel.
and then also the reason why I defend men so much, I feel like, is because I've been around so many. Fortunately, I got to experience a lot of good men in my life. My dad, my brothers, uncles, cousins, a lot of, in my family, there's a lot of good stand-up guys who treat their women right, who actually get done wrong by women. So I've experienced a lot of good men, but I've also experienced terrible ones too.
Hazel, we also have to get out of that too. You get what I'm saying? Because you're doing it on a minute scale. We're talking about on a grander scale. That's why some of these women are saying it's all men till it's no men. Which hey, whatever they say, whatever. But this is the thing. How can you identify a creep? How can you identify a predator? They're in law enforcement, they're in public policies, they're the doctor, they're the lawyer. You really don't know. So we don't know a rabbit when you pull it out the hat. So we have to move as such. So just like Diamond said about Lord, like him, I don't even follow him. Okay, I don't, because this is the thing. A lot of them, they proving me right. I'm just not gonna follow them. You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you can't fool me a third time. So I'm not gonna even go down that rabbit hole with putting my faith all in them because they say, I'm holding men accountable. No, you're not, because I don't care if the man is a paper napkin, uh, white. You need to hold them accountable, but you don't. So you got to hold all men accountable, not just the men in your community. If you on that grand of a scale, if you trying to do whatever you call to help women, you say you're not scaling your thing back to just a demographic. But if you're gonna do it, you need to do it on a grander scale. You can't just hold one community accountable and not hold the other one. So
I just wanted to agree with Mrs. Mack, as in to say we got to stay away from that anecdotal stuff. Like, I know you said that everyone in your family, you saw stand-up guys and everything, but the truth of the matter is, too, we're not dating them.
And
So
I'm
you
with
really
one.
don't
I'm
know,
with
you
one.
don't really, huh?
And I'm with one.
Right, but and that's definitely the most that you can account for, but that's still anecdotal. You don't know how they are with someone. You never know what it really is, and you will hope that they will be stand up, like how you interact with them and you see how they are as a person, whatever, whatever, whatever. But in all actuality, you never know how they are with if they're controlling, if they're, you never know for real, behind closed doors, because they could be some way in front of people. I dated a narcissist before. I married a narcissist before, I should say. And if it was for people to judge, his mother thought he was the best ever. People outside, because he put that mask on. So you
My
have
mom
to
and
be
dad was
careful.
married, so I watched him interact with my mom all my life.
It's still behind closed doors, but baby, it's not always what you see as an outsider. Sometimes sometimes they even do like control tactics that you may not even, because it's an inside, like a person to person kind of thing. You never know that, like something that they know, an inside situation. You may not know
I
that
don't
when the
think it's
tactics are
possible.
happening.
So y'all
Hey,
really
what
don't
is
think
it?
it's possible that a man can actually be good, well-rounded, all the way around, man? Like, y'all don't think it's none out here? None,
Okay,
y'all?
just a second,
Not
Hazel.
one?
Y'all, Jess, do you mind when she interjects on you?
No,
Is that okay?
I really didn't finish my thought though, and
Yeah.
but I like to, I
Go
stop
ahead,
when
Jess.
people start. So
Yeah, go ahead. You can finish your thought, Hazel. Please don't interrupt. Go ahead, Jess.
I mean, and you're getting it misconstrued, because trust me, I'm with someone right now who is a stand-up person in my opinion. But I'm not going to, what I'm saying is, in a whole, we're talking about in a whole. We have to think about all the people that's listening to this and that have to interact with a lot of these degenerate men. And we have to talk on that, not our anecdotal. I'm with someone now who is respectable, who is a stand-up guy, in my opinion. But then guess what? I also know situations about even my own brother that I'm like, that surprised me and saddened me. So sometimes you have to stay with the real and stop sugarcoating just because you love them. That's all I'm saying. It's not, you can't
I
be
agree, but that's
misled
not
from
me.
your anecdotal.
blinders on. You get what I'm saying? And see, Hayes, I'm married. I've been almost married for 10 years. And my husband sat down and told me the other day, he said, well, people got to stop being and stop saying what a good man is. And he listened to me all the time. It's good people. It's good humans. We don't know because what you classify as a good man and behind closed doors. Let's just use somebody that's not no kin to you. Okay, let's just say is a man out there. Everybody say he's a good standing person. He tithing in church. He doing all of this stuff, but they didn't know he was holding people in his basement. They didn't know he was holding children in his basement. But on the surface, he's a good man. He helps the people, old people cross the street. He do all this, that, and the third. You don't know what a person do when they're not with you. You don't know. We don't know. That's anybody. We always give people the
Who
benefit of
wants
the
to live
doubt.
in fear like that? You know what I'm saying? In doubt like that with a person
In
that they with.
fear. Are you serious?
Yeah,
That
seriously.
is very interesting.
To live
But
in
that's a
fear and doubt, I fear nothing but God. To live in fear and doubt, you probably
I
will
don't even
never
understand what you mean by
actually
that. What is that?
enjoy. You
What do you
probably will
mean?
never actually enjoy life
Oh my
if you
goodness. What?
don't just
so
real.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna ask a clarifying question, Hazel.
Now y'all cut
What do
me off
you
because I wasn't finished. So
okay,
should
I
I
cut
get
okay,
mad
so
like y'all do?
okay, hold on. All right. That's what we're not gonna do, Hazel. When you came up here, you didn't cut off every freaking person here. Interjected, unmute yourself, which is all the way rude. I interjected to ask a clarifying question to you, not to interject to stop your speaking. So can you please stop being rude? Like
Interjected to
I'm really
respond.
trying my best. I'm really trying my best to keep it cute with you.
Y'all are so like
Okay. All right. Okay. Listen, I think that you know why people call you a
ridiculous.
Pickmesha,
That's
because you are
crazy.
one. I think that's
No,
what it
I'm
is.
not.
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are. Yes, you
I'm
are.
not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I can guarantee you that your daddy,
Everybody not
your
the same.
brothers, and everybody else that you got in your life, they probably
Everybody
just
not the
as no
same.
good. They just as no good and
Everybody's not the
two-faced and
same.
backstabbing and double talking as you. And you know
We
what?
all are
I
different.
tried to give you respect, even though you didn't even
We
know what
all
the
have
word
differences.
articulate means, that you
I
didn't
know
even
what it
have
means. I said I
the
didn't mean to
intellect to
use
have
it
this
in the
conversation.
context. I know
But if you
exactly what
don't
it
have the
means.
dignity
I know
and the
exactly what every
decency
word
to
I say
not
means.
then you don't have the common decency to not interrupt people and wait your turn. You have interjected
But
on
you
every
do it.
woman that has been on
But
this
y'all
stage.
do it.
Do you understand this? Nobody did that to you. What I'm
Projection is
saying is
real.
I interjected on you to ask you a question about what you were saying. I didn't interrupt you.
And I
You've
did the
interrupted,
same.
and no, you didn't.
No, I
You did it to
responded.
everybody on here. Are you mentally well? You have interrupted and
Projection is
been
real.
rude
Are you
to
mentally
every woman
well?
on this panel. Do not unmute yourself again. Period.
Projection is
Okay,
real.
so let me go ahead and
Period.
drop you. You have a great
Bye.
day. Bye bye. Goodbye. Because it's very upsetting for me to try my best because I already knew what time it was, but I don't like to just say when women come up and say, "Oh, you know what? I get called a pick me shot all the time by women." I really do. 99% of the time, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it that you are one, but I didn't want to say that. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I try to respect everybody's energy that come up on the panel. You know, there are some people that can't wait to speak, or there are some people that haven't been raised right, so they don't know that they're supposed to wait their turn, or they don't know the proper social dynamics of being on TikTok Live. So I allow people to do that. I really do. It's like certain women, they may come up on my lives, they may have a certain type of energy that I don't particularly care for, but I still let them speak because I say, hey, you know, we're Black women, we're supposed to be letting each other speak, even if we have different ways of thinking. But just constantly interjecting, interrupting everybody, unmute yourself, interrupting over and over again. The ladies can't get their thoughts out. I have to mute you. You still unmuting yourself and not getting the clue. Then I interject one time on you to ask you a question. I wasn't trying to stop you from speaking. I just wanted to ask a clarifying question. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that Hazel said to like you said we should be lesbians. Like I already knew what type of person you were from the jump. And you know, I want you to know that all of this male-centeredness that you're doing up here and defending these men, they would never do it for you. I clearly looking at your profile picture, you are an unambiguously Black woman. I wish you would understand that you're not in the demographic that would ever receive any type of protection that you're offering to them. That's number one. But trying to call people lesbians, which isn't an insult, but trying to call people lesbians just because they don't agree with getting on their hands and knees and being a doormat for a pookie like yourself is crazy. It's really insane. Like I said, I try my best, y'all. So for anybody that says I was rude to this lady, I try my best to let her speak. I already knew what time it is, but I try my best to give her grace and let her speak. I really, 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 really did. But it's just like, at what point do I just have to put my foot down and stop acting like I don't see what I see? You know what I'm saying? It's just real crazy. And all I was trying to do is ask her a question about why she was getting to that thought process. But now that conversation is just degraded into something else. But because I know that when I upload these like streams to YouTube, people be like, "Oh, you didn't. This is an echo chamber." It's not. I was perfectly willing to let her speak. I knew the minute she was in the comments and the minute she came up and just the way she was talking, I knew what type of time she was on. I could easily say, "You know what? Pick me, block." But I chose not to do that. You know what I'm saying? But But let me just keep moving forward. I think Diamond has something to say, and then I'll go down here to Miss Dark Horse. Go ahead, Diamond.
Yeah, you definitely hit the nail on that one. These men will never do the same for them. A black woman could do something and they will crucify. They will all come together. See, that's one thing about black men is that they're going to stay on code with other black men, even the quote unquote good ones, even the controversial Shannons out there, they will stay on code with each other because they look like each other. They look as a black man representing them. They're going to give a black man the benefit of the doubt. Where a black woman, um, it's very sad because I feel like as a black woman, we should be on code with each other. But you would even see black women crucifying you too with black men instead of them being like, you know what, let's all like be together because we already have it hard enough. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think I really don't know what she was on. Like that was very very weird energy. And anyway, I don't know. I tried. I'm gonna go down here to Miss Dark Horse and then Jess because she said she had something to say too. Go ahead, Miss Dark Horse.
Hey, good morning, loves.
Hey.
Thank you for your YouTube video.
Oh, you know what?
Thank you, baby.
I just felt
Did
like
you
it
did
was
you see me in
nobody
the
saying
comments
nothing.
doing his live? Did you see? I said they gonna block the hell out of me. They gonna block me
You
in
who
They
was
gonna block
doing
me
the
in the video.
live? Who was
Huh?
doing the live?
And controversial Shannon's live. I said they gonna block me
Oh, what did
from
he
the other
say?
night. No, from the other night about the public situation. I ain't
Oh yeah,
involved.
I saw that live. I saw a lot of it,
Oh,
and I was
they,
disturbed. I was disturbed by it, and I
too many
felt
women
like,
were agreeing with me. Too many women were atting me like, yes, sis, yes,
yeah,
sis. I was like, they gonna block the shit out of me. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and you know what? I felt like nobody was really talking about it. Like, it was the people going in lives talking about it a little bit, but the black women that have chosen to center the men over women that look like them were in full effect. And I just felt like I should say something about it. And I think one of the ladies that's in this, I got her blocked because she was disrespectful to me. But even though she was disrespectful to me, I felt like I still needed to talk about it because at the end of the day, we're still black women. And I don't care if I have any issue with a black woman. I'm still going to always put her above a man, period.
Right.
So
That's
regardless of
what
the
it goes
fact,
down
I'm
to.
never defending a man over a woman, over a black woman specifically. I mean, black women only, over a black woman, period. I don't care if I had problems with the woman or not. It's just not how I get down. But yeah, all of this stuff, it was just really shocking to me. And I just felt like it's so many women being taken advantage of. But even when I made the video, it was a lot of women that went in on me and said terrible things to me, mean things to me, said that they were going to unfollow me, but they would never unfollow these men. And that's why I was just like, even though I've never said nothing bad about black women, never did nothing but try to uplift black women, I don't make 10K a month, 20K a month, 5K a month, 3K a month from no type of social media. But I'm just doing it for the love of black women. But it hurt me. But I felt like, it's still for the people that'll hear it and see it, they'll know that there are some black women that are paying attention and peep game. So that's why I made it.
Yeah, and everyone has a day. Everyone has a day, right? So if you talk to a woman, a black woman specifically, by the time she's 70 or 80, there are no more pick-me's. You're going to have a day, ma'am. They're going to have different wisdom for you at that time, and it won't be pick-me advice. Do you want to know why? You're going to have your day, your moment, your year, your time. It's coming. That's how misogyny works and breaks you down. That's how patriarchy works to break you down. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, right? And the sisterhood will be here when it happens. It's not if, it's just when. So going forward, I just put a blanket statement out there that these maybe trigger words or trigger phrases that some of your favorite men folk that you follow, ladies, say. One day, your spouse, boyfriend, significant other is going to turn around and use it on you. He's going to say, I'm not trying to hear that. I don't want to be involved. That don't really matter to me. I'm going to stay out of it. And you're going to feel that. And if you didn't feel it when he said it, you're going to feel it when somebody that means something to you, you expect them to step in and look out for you like you've been looking out for them, you're going to get disappointed. And I think that's when they're going to take a turn off of some of these men who, preach off of I'm about to protect black women. And they say it in words, but because they're on the internet, they don't actually have to do it, even though there are ways they could do it on the internet, but they don't have to do it to these women that follow them. These women that follow them are going to get disappointed over and over in their life, and they're going to realize that, hey, I'm not getting their support. And I think that's when they'll have their moment. But I came up when first of all, I'm still unpacking. It's a constant process. You need to think about it consciously every day, and it's never done. I'm going to say that. So please call me out. If y'all see me in these TikTok streets, say something to me, because I need to be checked, because I don't want to do it. So I think I know it, but I know I don't know it all. I just wanted to say that one of the ways that this pickmeisha behavior, this internalized misogyny comes up is lack of respect for other black women. Interrupting, not respecting the host, those are the signs. Because if it's men, they're quiet as a church mouse, or they will argue with you so he can get his point across. They're going to step up like, hey, you ain't hearing this point, blah, 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 going hard. Or the lack of respect for other women. So that's all I want to say. That's usually one of my signs that I'd be like, you need to work on that, sis, because you can't respect other black women. You have to interrupt them over and over again. Call it out when y'all see it, ladies. And thank you. Let me
Yeah,
go
I
get
definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to yield to the comments. But I just wanted to point out how dangerous and how problematic that woman was, because she just gave me my man vibes. And that's what we have to be careful about, because yes, we're not talking about her man. She may be in what she calls a quote unquote good relationship with this man, and that could be her experience, yes. But ignoring the issue that is out there for many other women is very selfish. And that is not how we do a community as women, trying to uplift each other and trying to kind of decenter men who are taking advantage of us, and who have been systemically taking advantage of us. So I was just like, yeah, nah. She was irking my spirit, and I felt it, and that's what brought me up here. So, but anyway, I'm gonna yield to the comments. Trigger, I love listening to you, and I just want to give you your respect every time I see you.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jess. And yeah, I feel you. You weren't wrong in what you felt. I felt like she was gonna give me some pushback, but that's why I put her up here, because I thought that it would, like, have an open conversation, because people talk about echo chambers and all of that, and so, and differing thought processes. So I thought we could have a good conversation and still keep it respectful. But I guess that didn't work out.
But
Let
Trigger,
me
the grace was given. I've been following you for a while. This not on this page, but the other one. But you gave her so much grace. Even when I tried to break it down to her, it wasn't registering to her. I think she just really wanted to come up because she came in on a raw situation. She probably was trying to debunk you and let you know that, hey, it's not all men, it's just some men. That's why she kept saying she was trying to make the differential between men or grown men, boys. I don't like that. Don't emphasize them. Don't do that. They're men. They're males. They're dudes. They're bros. They're all men. If you're over the age of 21, you're a man. Stop doing that.
Yeah, I got you, Miss Mac. Let me go up here to Shazam and then Jazz. Shazam, you there? Shazam, I am. You got the blank screen like you might be scrolling or something. I'll give you like 3 seconds, and then I'll go to Jazz, and then I'll come back to you, Shazam. You there, Shazam? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm gonna go to Jazz, and then I'll come back to Shazam. Go ahead, Jazz.
Hey everybody, good
Hi.
morning. I wasn't here for any of the Pickmesha behavior, but one of the prompts that you put, something is just interesting that I've noticed is the women who were unfortunately unalived during the conjugal visit. I think what's really interesting to me is that I've seen so many black men it seems like they're more upset with the women than the men. And that, they're like, well, what was she doing with him? And and it's like, so you're questioning the person who was harmed. You're not at all interested in understanding what the heck was wrong with the murderer. And that really concerns me, and it bothers me every time I see it, because regardless of what her thought process was in marrying him or whatever, she's not the abuser. She's the victim. So why are we so concerned about what she was thinking? Why are we not questioning what's wrong with these men? That's all I had.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, I don't know. I feel like now, since all of this stuff happened, with me seeing like all of the things that were going on with controversial Shannon and the public offender and a whole bunch of other men that have been exposed for being on some BS as well. I think it was a few black men that specifically try to grift, whatever word you want to use, grift or pander to black women that have been exposed for either making red pill content previously or disrespecting black women in some way. I know I had heard some things about, I think his name is Mike the Voice, heard some things about the dude from tonight's conversation. I forgot his name already. My mind is gone blank. About Ace, I think Ace Metaphor or something like that. I think that with all of these men that are able to build platforms and make millions upon millions of dollars off the backs of black women, and some of them will say, oh, I'm not centering black women, it's for all women, even though they know how they built their platform and they know that the majority of their support comes from black women, the majority of their clout, the majority of their views, the majority of their clicks come from black women, but they are still unwilling to center black women in a world that often ignores black women. You got the other ones that, really don't like women at all, made anti-women, videos and rhetoric, but they realize that is not a cash cow. That's not going to bring them in the money. So now they decide to flip it up because, unfortunately, and this is something that, I've said it in comments, but I don't think I've ever said it publicly. The collective of black women, in my opinion, is easy to fool. And if you're a man, it's easy to fool you because, and it is not, I'm not putting the blame on women for this particular thing, because I say this all the time. Black women I use this, example a lot. Black women are like a unwatered flower, a flower that is desperately in need of nourishment, water, plant food, whatever. And we never receive any sun. And so the minute we receive any type of kind words, any type of a semblance of love, whether it be fake or not, we instantly respond to that because we're so thirsty for that, because we are the only group of women that no one pours into. They only take from us. They have us pour into them, which is why you see black women everywhere talking about social justice movements, talking about this, that, and the third, going hard for people that wouldn't go hard for them. There are so many women that have called me phobic and this and that and all of these buzzwords because I choose to center strictly black women. And I think that all of that creates a firestorm for black women to be desperately in need of uplifting. And that makes them very vulnerable for the manipulations of men, because men will come in, and men are good at this, will tell you everything that you want to hear, but not mean anything that they're saying. And I wish that women would really understand that men are action-based. They're not word-based. So that's why you have a man that can tell you all day, I love you, babe, I'll do this and that for you. And he won't have a job. He ain't doing nothing for you. He's knocking your head between the washer and dryer. You've been with him for 50, 11 years. He ain't married you, all of these things, because you can't listen to a man by what he says. You just can't. You have to listen to his actions. So my thing is, for all the black women that say all of these black men that are on these lives and on these apps, supposedly protecting them and defending them, and oh, they're so needed. What are they doing for you besides running their mouth? Huh? What are they doing for you besides saying something? And people, when I mentioned the whole thing about public offender and his wife being YT, and people saying, oh, are you trying to police who people are with? No. But what I'm saying is that if you take up the mantle of wanting to defend black women, or you build your platform on that, and you're saying, oh, black women, you're great, you're this, you're that, and the third, I think something suspicious about why you didn't build your platform starting off with why are not your supporter base YT? You know what I'm saying? And that to me gives manipulation. You know, even with controversial Shannon, you say that you're here to support and uplift black women, but you have a man on that has been extremely harmful to black women. Talked about being a PDF file, called up black women all type of bees and nappy headed heifers and this and that and the third, but you over there talking real cool and real collected with him. You know what I'm saying? But then if a black woman say something you don't like, you like, F you, get off my platform. You ain't got to follow me, get lost, kick rocks. All of these things those are the actions that they're showing you, that they're not what they say. But instead, black women choose to listen to the words instead. And that's the reason why, in my opinion, so many women still in 2025 are getting played with. Men are dogging them out to their face because of exactly that. Because you, instead of listening, watching this man's actions, you listen to his words. You listen to the things that he has to say. And that's just never a good thing to do when you're talking about men at all. It's not the business. And I don't care who gets mad at me for saying any of the things that I said, because I could care less. I never followed none of these Negroes. I never liked none of these Negroes. I don't trust the man that's white, black, yellow, purple, green, Asian, Hispanic. I don't care, none of them. You talk about old women, I love you so much. Oh, let me show you. I don't believe none of y'all. And that's why I'll never be fooled, because I don't give any of y'all the benefit of the doubt. I don't give any of y'all grace, and I never will. Ever in my life, never. Because y'all cannot be trusted. And if I don't know you personally as a man, I don't know you for real, and see how you react in every situation, I'm not trusting you because you come online and you say pretty words to me. And I feel like the fact that women are willing to do that, it means that there's something lacking in your life that you feel like you want to do that. Because these same women, I have never did anything bad to black women. All I ever did is try my best to uplift black women. And I got a Discord. Not that many people's in it. It's free. I hear y'all paying to get in Discords, being in the man, this, that. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I've never did anything. Since I made that video, since I've spoken up about this, I had so many women tell me, hey, I'm unfollowing you. Like, I'm rocking with them all day long. You get out of here, calling me names, all type of stuff. I'm like, wow, it's like that? Oh, okay. All right. I see how it is. And I think that really shows that we got a lot of work to do. Because me personally, you know, I can't speak for everyone else, but me, I would never go against any of y'all for a man. I wouldn't. But I see that not everybody has those same, you know, values, you know, and I really do feel like that's exactly the reason why so many women still get played with. Like, I don't know what else to say.
And Trigger, I wouldn't go against now one of these women for somebody that's outside the community either.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
you know,
a no-no.
Oh yeah, and that was a whole nother thing. And the fact that there were so many black women going against other black women in defense of a white man, when you know that this man would never in his freaking life do it for you. Wild. Harriet Tubman did not free the slaves for this. Our ancestors did not unalive for this. Be for real. You really think that that's what they wanted, to see y'all tap dancing and shucking and jiving while that white man gets to sit back and be like, yeah, I got them. I manipulated things great. Look at them. They doing the dirty work for me. What? Like, all of this just blew my mind. Like, I was just like, are y'all kidding? Like, it's so disgraceful to see black women go against other black women in defense, first of all, of a man. But then in defense of a white man, I feel like that's even more diabolical. Like, I just don't even know what to say. Like, I was flabbergasted at all of this. And then when I tried to talk about it, like I said, it was so many black women that got mad at me. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And let's see, Imperfect, let me respond to you. Like, somebody said, so y'all have a problem with him being married to a white woman, and what else? I don't have a problem with him being married to a white woman. I could care less. And maybe y'all think this man is attractive. I'm not even, you know what? I was about to say something. I'm not even about to say it. I'm not concerned. First of all, I'm married with no man. But if I was single, I wouldn't be concerned with no man that paint his fingernails or what no man do. If you like white women, congrats. Power to you. Great. No problems here. The problem that I had was the disingenuousness. The problem that I have is that black women are being manipulated, and the ones that follow him still are too dumb to see it. All right. Any man that gets up there and says that black women are oppressing a certain groups of women, T women or white T women, that's an insane thing to say. Black women ain't oppressing nobody. I don't care if a black woman says, hey, I don't believe that a man can be a woman. That's not oppression, period. And all that is buzzwords to attempt to shame black women. Black women are and have been the most vulnerable population in the United States of America, period. Hands down. Black biological women, period. For rape, for abuse, for unalivings, black women make up 10% of the population in the United States, but yet they make up 59 to 60% of all the unalivings of women. So beefing for real. So I have a problem with all of that. So please get out of here with that goofy stuff. Like for real, and take your cape off. Because it's so embarrassing that y'all come in here. Don't nobody care about who that man be with. Like y'all really think that that's the type of man that women really care about? At least it's not me. When I was single, I would never, ever, ever. So it has nothing to do with that. Stop it. So I gave you context, imperfect. There it is. Nobody cares. So please stop acting like this man looked like Denzel Washington in his prime. He looked like Trevante Rhodes. He looked like Keith Powers. He looked like whoever y'all think is fine. That man ain't nobody that nobody is sitting there in the shower sliding down the side of the wall crying about because he got a white T woman. Stop it. Black women been seeing black men be with white T women since they had the opportunity to. Don't nobody care. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sidney Poitier was out here with white T women. Harry Belafonte was out here with white women. James Earl Jones was out here with white T women. Don't nobody care. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But all I'm saying is that if you want to have all these black women in your panels and all of this stuff, you talking about this, that, and the third, it's a little suspicious. That's it. And I'll tell you why. And y'all can call me. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. Let everybody else speak. You can say what you want to say. But the motivations for a black woman dating out, whether she marries a white T man, whether she marries a white T Hispanic man, whether she marries an Asian man, whether she marries an Indian man, whether she marries an indigenous man, whoever she marries, her motivation for dating out is always different than a black man who dates out. Okay? Period. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't trust no black men that date white T women because self-hatred is always behind it all. And you can argue with your mama about that. Self-hatred is always behind it all. And whether black women want to admit this or not, black women never wanted to date out. They had no choice but to because of the piss poor choices that they have and the fact that black men like to play a lot of games. So sometimes black women say, you know what? Let me try something else because these Negroes out here tripping. So please stop the game. And that's another reason there is a difference, period. And you can say it's biased or whatever. There is a difference. So hopefully I broke it down to you imperfect and you understand what I'm saying. But you probably don't. But I don't care. Let me move forward and let's see here. T Baby speak. Was that who was next? Go ahead, T Baby. Let me unmute you, sis, just in case you couldn't be unmuted. You there, T Baby?
And come up here, girl. I'm sorry. My phone on the bed and my baby pushed the button.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll drop you. Okay. Did anybody else want to speak, y'all? Y'all can if you want. Okay. Well, if y'all ever want to speak, y'all know, just let me know. I'm adding up somebody else too right now. Cookie, you can go ahead, sis, if you have something to say.
Hey, if anybody wanted to talk before me, because they were up here before me.
Oh, they already had a chance to speak. I asked them did they want to speak, but nobody unmuted.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to say this first. Hey, good morning, Trigger. Hi, everybody. I just seen a viral post that just went around about 3 New York postal men had attempted to grape and kidnap their postal co-worker that was a female. I'm assuming they have just been charged. So I've been trying to get the word out because it's really kind of crazy to it's early in the morning and to see something like that because these are postal people, they work for the government. So I just wanted to put that out there because
it's very dangerous times that we are living in. And I'm pretty sure it's probably a black woman, but I'm not gonna say for certain it's a black woman. But one black women black women need a male savior. I don't think black women need a male savior. I think a lot of black women would like to have a male savior just because of the patriarchy, like how it shifted everybody's brain to like, like a prince or God being male when God is a spirit. So it's like everything is out of interpretation as far as male saviors. To going against black women for men who grift. Yes, I've been seeing that. I just left another panel where the women we're talking to, it was given pick me. And trying to explain to her how choosing men, especially black men, is very dangerous. Just to say, oh, we have to procreate for them, for our society, so we could grow as a society, because in all reality we're being unalived at mass rates and harmed at mass rates, that the safest thing we can do is separate ourselves. So I don't really know why black women are pandering towards the grifting. I think it's a trauma response, but or Stockholm syndrome. Black women unalived during a conjugal visit. Oh, I did hear about that. I heard about that. And it just shows that no matter where you are as a black woman, it's not going to be safe for you. Like, if there's a whole bunch of correctional people there, and there's all different type of securities, because I have went to jail visits, and I don't know if you could say the J word, but I have went to visits and stuff like that for a while, and like, not conjugal, but all the stuff you have to go through to even get through there is really intense for that to even happen, and for nobody to even know that that was happening or care that that was happening. um Black women still are very much male centered. I do believe black women are very much male centered. I think most women are very much male centered. Like, I see a lot of women, and even younger women, starting to wake up and understand that centering men is not healthy, and it's not really gonna get us anywhere that we want to be. Because honestly, if you're being drained to the point of somebody who doesn't love themselves, how can you really excel? How can you really flourish? And I think that speaking of black women, that they're very much male centered, because black women have a strong history of trying to always shelter and cater to the black man. Like, I've been in them situations more than once, and it's actually very hurtful to experience those type of things, and traumatic, because it really shows you that black women have an unaliving allegiance to pandering for black men, and they really seek that validation more than they seek anything else in the world. They seek it more than their children, they seek it more than their family, they seek it more than their education, they seek it out. That black man validation is just like, it's like street candy for them. I don't know. Why is it more value when a man says it? I think that it's only more value when a man says it because we have given it. Because I've seen that on a lot of panels. I've seen a lot of smart black women and educated black women say a lot of earth earth breaking boundary things in their panels, and then you see black men on different panels regurgitating that, and basically dumbing it down, and you can just see the reaction of everybody being so pleased with the what is it called again, when you do something mediocre, like pleased with the mediocreness of him just throwing together words that he heard on a different panel. And it's very surprising. um so I don't really know why it's more value. Like, again, I would think it would be like the patriarchy, because that's the way things have always been, that what men says should be upheld more, and their talking points are so much stronger. I just think they just take things from women and just regurgitate it, and people just cheer. Why can't black women admit the truth? Um, I think the question is for like, why can't the black women Pickmeshas accept the truth? I think accepting the truth would mean that they would have to come out their delusion, which means they would have to be accountable and self-aware to a certain extent. Like what I've learned a lot of about women who are not accountable and self-aware, they like to issue out that form of, oh, you need to be accountable. You need to pick better men. You need to do this. But when you really think about it, if you're telling somebody else to be accountable, why aren't you being accountable? Why aren't you being accountable for how you're because I say this because I wasn't gonna let this girl ruin accountability for me because I really like that word because I'm an accountable person. And she was trying to tell me, oh, I should be accountable for her brother's abuse to me. And at the time, because it was a lot going on, no TMI, it's just like I really could have checked her, but I think I was just in so much shock that it just was like, girl, what do you mean? Like you telling me to be accountable, but you ain't been accountable. You know your brother's a monster. Girl, you should have been got him locked up. You need to be accountable because as an older sister, if you think I would have a little brother and he would be out here doing that, he'd be in jail so fast, like telling me all types of stuff like, oh, that's my brother and he does stuff like that to me too. You're letting your brother put his hands and feet on you? You're bugged out. But again, I think that the reason why they do not want to admit the things is because they will have to be accountable and they would have to think about the things that they let go by and the things that they accept from people and what they may have done to skew other people's perceptions. Because whether a lot of women don't want to believe it or not, they are the viewpoint for how men feel they should treat other women. So it just like they say, if a boy watches his mother go through DV, 9 times out of 10, he could become a victim of DV because men are victims of DV too, in different in same-sex relationships too, or even in different sex relationships. They can become victims of that, and then but the main thing is that they become abusers, and they start to mimic the same patterns that they seen done in their youth. And I feel like if women have to be accountable, they have to be accountable for the fact that they are also playing a part in the game that is, guiding black men more towards away from the goals of being a man, but more towards the goal of being an abuser and harming his community, if anything. And they would have to acknowledge the part they play. And I think that's why they don't want to deal with the truth because, people say the truth hurts, but my favorite thing to say is, the truth will set you free. And when people realize the truth will set them free, they will start being more honest with themselves and others so that things can get better because being in delusion is not the solution. I think that especially as coming out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, because Pisces is about illusions and Aquarius is about knowing, is that we're coming into a consciousness where people have to get with the real. You can't get with the fake because the fake is not going to help us. Trying to just pray that somebody gets it together is not really teaching them how to get it together. We have to separate and we have to figure out a way to actually come to truth and come to honesty so that things can actually change, because until you address a problem can't be changed.
Can I ask you
Um,
a clarifying question? You said something about a woman don't give a man an opportunity to be a man. What do you mean by that?
Not that they don't give him an opportunity to be a man. I said that when they are not being accountable, they're pushing him more towards a life of being like a degenerate man. They're not pushing him towards the avenues of being a man, because to be a man is to be accountable. So if you're not leading by example to be accountable, why would that person be leading by example to be accountable? If you getting tossed up by a man, that's not your fault as a woman. But if a child is present, that is your responsibility to talk to that child and explain to them this is wrong and this is why you shouldn't do that. But that would take a sense of accountability to do that. A lot of women, they go through these situations and their children are present and they're not explaining to their child what's going on. They're just letting their child experience it, and this is how we're creating trauma. So it's, and trauma has been known to show how it can mess up a person's life and how it can turn them into another steered direction other than the right path of becoming a responsible adult. Because everybody makes their own choices, but initially it is the adults' jobs to be accountable and to educate the children on what's really going on so that they don't make the same mistakes. 7, no grace for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
no.
was just it was just I just was saying that I noticed that when I had made the video that I made that there were so many black women that went at me and attacked me even though I had never did anything other than just try to center black women and uplift them, and they were just I just felt like all of the grace for the suspicious behavior that these men have exhibited, they overlooked and gave them grace for it, but me none, you know? And I
Yes, and I think that has to do a lot with male censoring. And I'm sorry for that because I really don't like to see that either. Because I see a lot of that too, is that there's no grace for the women who are on the panels who are actually talking about actual facts and trying to figure out some type of solution and guide women into making better choices and thinking about, you know, what we are doing to contribute in the parts that we can play and that we do need to get away from. And I feel like there is no grace. And I've dealt with that in my real life of being the truth teller and the person who is honest or trying to be that person that's like, okay, girl, well, I'm just gonna tell you that this is what's gonna happen. You get attacked because it's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you just hate it. Oh, you just mad. And it's like, people are not hating. They are not mad. Like, people are just trying to be honest. But again, um, the truth is scary in a world full of lies. Like, and I don't like that there is no grace for the black women because I feel like it's always a target and an attack. And it could weigh a lot on a person, especially if they're not feeling their best, because we all are human. And you know, when you're saying, because when you say, you know, men don't deserve grace, I was already coming to that conclusion. But I'm gonna say it again: men don't deserve grace. Men have had enough grace. The people who deserve grace are black women. Those are the people who deserve grace. If you need to think of a person that deserves some grace, think of a black woman, because that who deserves all the grace, because it is a thankless job, and it's constantly, you're constantly being berated and felt like othered, when in all reality everybody relies on you when they need help. Everybody's looking for a black woman to help them and figure out this and that, but there's no grace, there's no respect. And I think that that's actually very disgusting, and people need to grow up, and they really need to understand that that's not, as a black woman, you should always be giving a black woman grace. I don't care what she said. Yeah, I'm gonna take her side, because honestly, black women don't get that option. They don't have people just taking their side just because they're a black woman. People need to know why. They need to understand why you was there, why you was talking to this person, why you let the relationship go on so long. It's so many questions, but when it's other people, it's never that. So that would be my point. And hopefully people, you know, give you more grace, and, you know, we find more people who are on the like-mindedness so that they understand what you're saying and know that it's not an attack on the black community, because I know that your platform is to help the black community, and the black community is the black woman. So thank you.
No problem, no problem, Cookie. I like I said, I just hope that, you know, on a micro level, because I don't know if it'll actually like make any real changes at this time. I think eventually it will, but maybe not at this time. I just hope that more black women can center each other and focus on themselves, and that not be such a dirty word or a dirty thing to do, because literally every other group, whatever, even marginalized groups, everybody else has a space to where they can talk about things that only talk about that affect them or harm them or that bother them. Black women are the only ones that everyone else feels entitled to come into their space, you know, and that is very, 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 very unfortunate. And I just, for one, I'm just really tired of it. And I think I'm also tired of the fact that if you're a black woman and you say this, all of a sudden you get demonized when all you're trying to do is get a space to where we're all centered and we can all focus on our issues. It's just like the old thing that people say, you can't help anybody until you help yourself. So like if we can't focus on us ever, how are we ever going to be better? Because right now everybody wants us to do for them and uplift them and worry about their causes and what they got going on, you know? So but like I said, I feel like for me, I never really expect to be like a huge content creator or anything like that, because I feel like if you tell the truth and you or maybe I feel like if you tell the truth and also you're balanced and you're not extreme on one side or the other, that those people never are going to like have a huge platform. The people that have a huge platform are the people that stick with the agenda and say things that they really don't mean and go along with certain things because it sounds good. So I don't expect to like blow. I just want, to have a solid, at least a small following of black women that, we can be like-minded and come together and uplift each other. And maybe as we talk and uplift each other, we can make change in our communities amongst the people that we actually know in real life. And also if we can all get together and maybe advise younger black women, not to make certain mistakes maybe that we have made or that we've seen other people made, then that'd be good enough for me. I'm not really, because I knew when I made certain videos that I've made that would make people mad and make people unfollow and make you be like, oh no, forget her. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the truth is not always comfortable. It's not. The truth is not always going to be something that you want to hear. It's not. And sometimes people are going to be mad at you for telling the truth. My whole goal is to, put it out there. You see it. You can figure out what you want to do. But I have got to expose it and talk about the hard topics. That way, a lot of things are able to just go on unchecked. Because you can't say, well, I know that one girl that I don't like that I don't follow. She said it. That way, when everything hits the fan, people already know what it is, and they don't say that nobody told them. And that's just my whole goal, is just to uplift black women and put them and help put them in the best situation. And like I said, that may not always be the most popular, but once again, the best way to do or the best things to do, that's never popular. The most popular ways, the popular thing, yeah.
Patricia, I
But
disagree with you. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. I'm gonna tell you why. When people hold hour long lives about you, baby, you affected it. Baby, you done made it. You might not think that, but people are following you. They may be in the shadows. They listening. They just don't know how to approach the situation. You keep doing what you're doing, because even though to unpopular belief, they want to come in, but they so loyal to the male part or the male centering part of it, they don't even know how to even deconstruct that. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep, like I told you in the comments, stay on their neck. Because it's furthering them. It's making them stumble, because they start saying stuff that they normally don't say when they're having these long conversations about holding men accountable. That's when stuff starts slipping out, just like a snake. A snake will slip on out, and then they start revealing stuff that they normally don't do. You start seeing things that you normally don't see. So keep on doing it. I disagree with you when you say you don't think that you are hitting it on a micro level. You are. You people just don't know how to approach you about it, because they know that you gonna say what you gonna say what you gonna say, and you gonna mean it. You gonna stay 10 toes down.
Agreed.
It is what it is.
hey, Miss Max,
You get what I'm saying?
Miss
Because
Max,
there's a lot of us.
who else? You said somebody held a live. Who held a live about me? Oh, he did.
Shannon did.
What was he saying?
Yeah. Girl, he was mad. He was mad to myself. I don't know why she put my picture up there with public. If you're gonna talk about me, you need to talk about me, because I do hold men accountable. I don't disrespect women. I didn't call that lady a B. She called me a bitch ass nigga, this, and the third. It was a whole
that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind he has the right to respond. But yeah, I mean, I just he had a different energy for the women. You know what I'm saying? And I still stand by that. And the way that, those clips that I saw of him calling women, the B word and all that other stuff, a man that lets that roll off his tongue and says it in a public platform about black women, because that's who you catering to, and that's your following. Ain't no way in the world you don't use those words in your private life behind the scene, because you said it on the live. And if you're not, your live is gonna be where you're on your best behavior. So what's going on in your private life? And that's no problem. He could do what he want to do. I'm just not drinking the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? His vibe is off. And so is the vibe with public offender. I thought that from the very beginning when I first was exposed to him, it was so many women that would be like, "Oh, you heard him? He hadn't did anything to me." I just was like, "No, I'm not into that. I don't follow men. I don't follow men that are saying what we say all the time, because all they do is sit in the lives and hear what we say, and then they just repeat it. That's it. They don't know how it feels to be a black woman. They talking about, oh yeah, women are oppressed, women are hurting. How the hell would you know? You ain't a woman. You don't know. You just seeing what somebody told you, what you heard. You don't know. And especially, I really don't even want to be funny, but a lot of men are not empathetic at all, period, or sympathetic. So you mean to tell me, I think that you want me to believe that you over here really losing sleep on the way black women feel, but you over here on TikTok calling black women the B word, and you telling women to get the F out of here, and you, the other dude, you over here defending a white T man over black women, which already puts you in a tap dancing, shucking and jiving position. I just, no. And I feel like I gotta call it out. They don't have no problem calling out everybody else. They don't have no problem calling out dudes all day or saying whatever they want to say. So I said what I said, and they can't be mad at it. If y'all feel like y'all call out problematic men all day, if I think y'all problematic, take it on the chin. You ain't gotta have a live about me. You know what I'm saying? Some of them dudes that y'all be talking about, they just be like, oh, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Like, don't if you giving it, don't be mad when you get it. But I just think it's weird that there are so many women that flock to them. It's literally insane. But I really do think a lot of those women be desperate, be lonely, be that they might not have a male presence in their life. So that's like their pseudo parasocial relationship with a man.
He's
But
a part of their delusion, I believe.
yeah. That's what it is, because it's like, you thinking it was just like how the women were like, oh, I expected, I was disappointed in you, Shannon. I thought that you were gonna protect me, Shannon, or protect black women, Shannon. Then other women say in public, I can't believe you betrayed black women like this. And I'm thinking to myself, are y'all crazy? Like, why would y'all ever think these Negroes online really care about y'all? Like, really trying to do something for y'all. Everybody knows the easiest and quickest grift is a black woman. And that's sad to say. I don't want to say it because I love black women, but it's the truth. And it's not, I already say that it's not necessarily our fault, because everybody punches down on us so much, the most, that we are so desperate for kind words. But it's easy. Even now, the white tea men know it. The Asian men know it. The Hispanic men know it. I remember it was one Hispanic dude that, I don't know if he be there. I blocked him. So I don't know if he's still very active on TikTok. But he's a Hispanic dude, always talking about how black women are the best and black women are better than other races of women. And he loved black women so much. Da-da-da. You find out this man not married. He be talking about, oh, when I dated this black woman and I dated that black woman, I dated that. Well, if black women are so amazing, sir, why you ain't married none of them? But it's like these questions black women don't even ask these men. That why they send them all these cash apps and money. They just so happy to hear somebody say that they're choosing black women above everything. And my thing is that why do you want a pretty lie over the ugly truth? You can give me the ugly truth every day. Don't be over here saying all this stuff because you think I want to hear it, but that's not what you really type of time you on. And it's just like I said, it's just upsetting to see black women be such easy licks. Anytime I see a white man on this app say anything, he could just say, "Oh, I like chocolate." Next thing you know, all these black women come, "Do you like black women? Oh, this is my type of vanilla. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that." What do you mean? He didn't say nothing except he liked chocolate. It's so embarrassing to me. Like, and it's just happening so much. And if you're a woman and you speak out about it, then everybody mad at you. But anyway, let me keep going. Go ahead, food. Go ahead, sis.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I kind of wanted to speak on some of the questions that you have up on the screen. I had a phone call earlier and I had to disconnect, but I'm back. So I think a lot of it is cognitive dissonance, where Black women feel that they've created some type of delusion of what they think Black men are and can be. I feel like socially, Black women have elevated to at least middle class, even if you're from the hood, you didn't grow up in the best environments. I feel that we have at least elevated to middle class, and what I mean by that is we're looking for a family structure. If you want a husband with the children that comes home at night, that provides, or I guess, if you do the 50-50 thing, that's not my cup of tea. I don't play that. But a man that provides, a man that has morals, values, and usually that kind of starts at middle class. Not to say that it can't start in lower socioeconomic standings, but I think that's like where it starts. What I'm seeing is Black men are still stuck on the plantation. They are still stuck with that mentality of breeding, of mammy is gonna save me, of I don't have to do anything, yet I'm superior. I have a penis, and that's all I need to bring. I don't need to bring anything else. I'm Black, I exist. They have that mentality. They've never gotten away from that mentality. Somehow they feel that all they have to offer is a penis, and a woman is supposed to be happy with that. They have not socially elevated to realize, okay, and again, not all Black men, but I'm just speaking on the majority that I know of and what my environment was. What I saw was grandmothers and everyone else trying to keep a family unit together, trying to work, trying to just create a comfortable environment. It was the men in my family and some of the other girls in the neighborhood coming inside drunk, not making money, don't want to work, laying around, running back and forth behind young women. This woman pregnant, the one across the tracks pregnant, like 3 different women pregnant at once. That's what they're concerned about. How many girls in the hood that I can get pregnant? How can I spread my seed? But yet you want to spread this seed and you have no money, no resources, no morals, no anything. The only thing that you are offering is your penis, which is populating the community with more poison. You're not around to raise these children, and it's almost like it's a game. How many women I could collect. It's not about how can I be a successful man? How can I be more, I don't want to say acceptable, but how can I be more valuable to society? How can I be worthy? It's about how much how many cars I have, what kind of materialism I have. And they'll have all of that, and baby mama down the street has to beg for Pampers and on Wick. I just cut off, I won't say any names, I just cut off someone. She sat in my face and told me, now mind you, she's in her 30s. This man is in his 50s, disabled, 12 children, 12. 9 of these children were made on his wife that he's still married to. He only has 3 with with his wife. And the other 9 kids are spread amongst different women. This person decided it was a smart idea to go get pregnant for him. Then gets on the phone, I found that he owed child support, and I'm just like, what were you looking to obtain from this man? What delusion did you create? He's on disability, so it's not even like he's a rich older man, because I thought that was the purpose. I'm like, okay, well, if you're dealing with somebody 25 years older risking worms and stuff, I would think, you're some type of resource, like something's coming out of this. So long story short, she got tricked into, well, she tricked herself. She tricked herself into now she's taking care of this disabled man and he's living off of her. And she's trying to go to the WIC offices and other places trying to get assistance while this man is living in her house. So I'm just like, what delusion did you give yourself to think that this would be a healthy situation, an active father? Like, I don't get it. And so she's like, well, he had other children, and the other women, he said that this, that, and the other. I said, okay, out of 7 women, I think that's how many, and you made number 8. So something was wrong with all of these women, and nothing told your mind that it's him. So my issue with black women, not all, of course, my issue with black women is you'll tell them, they'll see the pot of hot water, and you say, hey, that pot of hot water is hot. Don't put your hand in it. It's gonna burn you. They will still go and stick their hand in that water. And when that water burns them, this is what happens. Well, the pot, it was steaming and stuff, but I didn't think that, it was going to burn. And everyone's like, did you not see 5 other women just
Yeah.
get burned by the same pot of water? Why would you go out and do it?
I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from with that. I see it a lot too. I do. I'd be lying. I be being intellectually dishonest if I didn't say I don't see exactly what you talk about, and
Mhm.
it is infuriating. It really is. But I did want to say something real quick before I forget about what Mrs. Mack was saying. Like when you said that Shannon held the live and he was talking about how the lady called him a BAN. Let me
Mm-hmm.
say something. I was there. I listened to the live when there was I saw it myself. When she first came up there, she was speaking from a place of irritation and hurt. She didn't start saying anything to him like that was like a curse word until he was so incredibly dismissive of what she was saying. Like you could tell by his face, the way he just kept throwing his head back, the way he was like, yeah, got it, yeah, yeah. Like that's what put that lady in overdrive. That's the reason why she called him a name. It was because of how he was doing. My thing is if you put your big head up here and you talking about some, yeah, I do this for black women. I'm calling out black men for black women cause of my mom, cause of my wife, cause of my nephews and my nieces and sisters and all this other stuff that he was saying. Then the least you could do was when a black woman comes to you and she's telling you that she had faith in you. Now, I don't know why she did have faith in you. That's on her. But she's telling you that she had faith in you. Then what you should do is say, you know what, sister, I hear you. Let me hear what you got to say. You know what? I'm sorry that you feel that way. Maybe I should have thought about that. Because my thing is that he didn't address the fact that he got bucked with that lady because he didn't like what she said, right? He didn't like the energy that she was giving. Now, this man say that he care about black women. He got this black wife, all of this stuff. But he talking about, well, I didn't go at Moses because he didn't say nothing to me. Well, Moses been saying something about black women that's just as black as your black wife, right? So you should have been upset with that Negro just because on the strength of what he said about black women. You should feel like it's like if somebody say something about your friend, it's like they saying something about you. It's like if somebody say something about your sister, your mom, they saying something about you. You like, hey, don't talk about my mom like that. I got smoke for you because you talk about my mom. I got smoke for you because you talk about my sister. I got smoke for you because you talk about my friend. Black women not really that man friend because if they were, or he don't really care, because if he did, he would have been mad at that Negro for that alone. It didn't matter if he came over there super nice. Hey, how you doing, Shannon? Hey, let's be best buddy. He would have said, no, Negro. No, because you talking about black women and you been talking about them. So I got smoke with you no matter what, punk. But that's not what he did. And that's what the woman was trying to say. But he kept dismissing her. And that's the reason why she called him the B word. And that's the reason why it's like, don't try to gaslight these women. But the thing about it is that, honestly, this is why I say it's a problem, just like Fu was saying, with black women, because y'all so not even really thinking about it critically, and y'all going off emotion and just listen to what this Negro says as opposed to the actions that he has exhibited. And that's what I say, like, if nobody get nothing out this live and y'all hate me me, and y'all say y'all gonna block me, and y'all say forget me. Cool. Remember this. This will help you in your real life. Never trust what a man says ever in your life. You trust his actions, because his actions gonna tell it all. Because he can tell you he love you, but never show you that he do. If he show you that he love you, that's something different. He did not show that he loved or cared for or wants to protect black women or wants to call out bad black men with that action, because he should have already been on 10, because this man has been disrespecting the very women that you say you built a platform to defend and call out other men for disrespecting. So I wish that women would get that. So the fact that anybody following this Negro is wild to me. And at this point, I'm just looking like, hey, if you follow them two dudes, I already know that you a goofy. I'm already putting you in that pile. Now I'm not gonna tell you that because I'm not gonna disrespect the black woman like that. But please believe, I think you the biggest goofy that there ever was, because they already done showed you. I don't care what they tell you, they've already showed you. And if you do this on your online life, I know you're doing this in your personal life. So when that man don't call you for 10 days, or that man hit you and quit you, or he didn't see you for months afterward and then call you, talk about, hey, big head, and you like, oh, well, he's calling me now. He told me he really liked me. He told me he cared about me, but everything that he's done showed you he didn't. This is the reason why men play in your fucking face. This is the
Exactly.
reason why they dog you out. Stop that. Stop it, man. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
And when you ask them, like, well, the thing is, here's where the cognitive dissonance comes in. It's like you will tell black women, hey, this is messed up, like that's wrong or whatever. You know what they say? Oh, I know. And I'm like, okay, so if you know it's wrong, why are you sitting here venting to me? So you're venting to me about something that you know that's wrong, and then you're going to continue to start doing it. So my philosophy with that, and this is just my opinion only, I feel like a lot of them are secretly punishing themselves. I don't know if it's maybe something they've done or that they feel like they deserve to have some type of pain inflicted upon them. But I just can't wrap my mind around how you can how you are comfortable knowing you are living in misery to get on the phone and call someone and tell them the misery that you're going through, and then when the person is like, well, why are you going through
I
that?
don't want to interrupt you, but you want to
Uh-huh.
know why it is food foolish? It's
Yeah,
because their energy transferring. They're trying to filter the energy of their misfortune to you,
mm-hmm.
and that's why after these conversations you might feel so drained. And even if you don't feel drained, you'll start to feel annoyed. It's because the emotions have to be processed, and because they're not being processed, the energetic emotions are going to the person that's hearing the stuff, or the person that they're confiding in. And you're right, they will say that, oh, I know it's bad, and don't have no change for it. They don't care.
Exactly. I 1,000% agree. And that is why my boundary is I'll listen to you once. After once, you are signing up for it and you are a willing participant. And from that moment, we're not, it's like, for me, I've been abstinent for
I'll
about
give
three
you one more
years.
minute, food. Okay? Because I want to make sure I get Mia too, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right, go ahead,
Um,
sis.
so I've been abstinent for about 3 years, not even dating, just focused on me and just rebuilding me. So I don't have man problems. I just want to have one girlfriend that I can talk to on the phone, that the entire conversation is not about dysfunction with men. I can't find that. That's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was making sure you was done, food.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go. I'm gonna go here to Mia and then Sage. Go ahead, Mia.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I was going to say the same thing that Food said about like the punish themselves, but a lot of it is like I think that some women are participating in this like psychological or emotional self-harm that I think is what is clouding a lot of our judgment, especially if we do not have a community and we do not have a strong sense of self. I think that's how we end up falling into these traps like, to me, it's akin to if you grew up in the South and you went to a Southern Baptist church and you fell for that, you gonna fall for a lot of different type of things. Cause like a lot of stuff be in plain sight, but you feel convicted, or you feel like you don't have a voice, or you shouldn't be saying nothing, or you gonna be labeled as this, or this is what that's gonna be. And you have family members and other people who will gaslight you, people you might consider friends, who gaslight you. And in a situation when it comes to women and how they interact with men, it's a societal gaslighting, right? We done talked about it. So I agree. I saw your video, like chef's kiss, like that was high quality. Yesterday we ended up talking to Fatal, but he didn't say much. I don't know if you know who that is. He's seen your video too, but he didn't comment much. And in him not commenting much and then dropping, I started wondering, like, there is some type of fear about calling out these men and these bad behaviors. And it just put me in the mind of how the community is afraid to call out and talk about the preacher, right? So I'm like, what is this issue? Like, even when you see the thing, why is it that women will defend it and women don't want to call it out, and the men who are close or in close company with these type of men don't want to say nothing? Like, what is going on? And I'm not sure what that actual issue is. I know it's a internalized misogyny. I know it's this fake allyship. I know all of that. But I guess what I'm curious to do is figure out how we can, like, what's the solution gonna be? Like, how much compassion and empathy and grace should we be giving women? What does that look like? How are we going to get them to recognize certain things? Because being harsh about it don't necessarily work. Or is it one of those things that they gonna get it when they get it and they're welcome? In the case that I feel like with myself, or like, I don't know. So I just wanted to say that, like, I agree with what all has been said so far. Like, I don't have no nothing more to add to that. I'm just now wondering what the solution could be.
I'll tell you, Mia, because like I said this earlier. I don't know if you was here. I don't necessarily blame Black women for this behavior. Yes, it's disappointing, but I don't necessarily blame them for it. I said earlier, Black women are in need of kind words. They are in need of affirmation. They are in need of uplifting. We are punched down on by everybody. We're the only group of women that everyone knows that we don't have any protection from the men in our community, that anyone can come in and violate. Not only them, but they also encourage others to come out and violate us as well. And, we're the only ones that everybody is always saying what we do wrong 24/7, nothing that we do positive. If there are any Black women that attempt to uplift themselves or say, hey, no, we're doing this, that, and the third, there are not only men that will come in, but there are also women that will come in and say, oh, well, what you're doing, it's not all that, or anybody can do that, or whatever type of thing. So we're not able to uplift each other, and others don't uplift us as well, because we are literally police for everything we do. Everybody wears weaves. Everybody wears makeup. Everybody does. There's plenty of white tea women, other races, women that are single mothers, and all of these other things. But no one talks about it in the way that they talk about it when it's regarding Black women. So I know because of all that, it creates a almost a thirst or a deep-seated need for affirmation, especially when men are, especially because most women are heterosexual. There's nothing wrong with being gay. Don't nobody clip this and say I say anything wrong with this. Nothing wrong with being gay. But I'm saying the majority of women generally are heterosexual, Black women. And so they're looking for that from the lens of a man. They're looking for that uplifting to come from them. And because of that, and because we don't receive it, it leaves a space for Black women to be taken advantage of. It does. It leaves a space for black women to be okey doked by men because everybody sees this about black women. People, it's like black women may see that, well, nobody's talking about how we're treated. That doesn't mean that people don't see it. Everybody sees it. The white tees see it. The white tee Hispanics see it. The Indians see it. The Asians, everybody sees it. They just don't care. So it leaves us in a space of vulnerability. So the first time somebody says anything nice or you feel like they're on your side, the next thing you know, black women are giving this man the keys to the kingdom. So in my opinion, you cannot trust any man that attempts to center black women or say he's trying to do something for black women, period. Online, you can't. Now, if you know that man in his real life and you know he's really about that, cool. But there's no way you can know these men online because the majority of the time they know that it's a cash cow to cater to black women. They know it because black women are so desperately in need of those words. And unfortunately, it doesn't hit the same when a woman says it. Now, it is the same for me, but it doesn't hit the same for a lot of other women. You know what I'm saying? That when a black woman says something, because all these men do, like I said earlier, is regurgitate what all of us say anyway. They don't know. They don't care. They're not empathetic. They're not nurturers. They don't give a they just saying what you said, but for some reason, when they say it, it's validation. So I would say the only way that we can actually fix this problem is to get every black woman to look at men with a critical lens, just like I said earlier, to watch them for their actions, not for the things they say. And if you're online, you don't know that man's actions. So what does that tell you? Don't trust him. Period. If you can't see that man's actions in his real life day to day to day to day, then you don't know him. You know what I'm saying? You got people that, like I said earlier, that are in relationships with people. They turn out to be a serial killer or a rapist or they like to touch kids or something. You're like, oh my gosh, I was living with him every day. I didn't know that he would have that child porn on his phone. I didn't know him. So if you didn't know that man that you laying up with, why in the world would you think that you would know a Negro that get online and talk about black women, black women, black women, black women, the patriarchy, the patriarchy, the patriarchy? And what's really crazy is that a lot of women that follow these men, they talk about the patriarchy all the time. They talk about feminism and women's rights and don't let a man, we're not going to let a man tell us what to do. But as soon as a man get online with a mic and say one thing that you like, you willing to let that man tell you everything. You're willing to let that man tell you what femininity is, what it ain't, who can be a woman, who can't be a woman, what you should say, how you can speak about femininity, what you can say about your own self and your own existence. Then you let that man tell you everything under the sun. He can get up on here like public offender and tell you that you're a black woman and you're an oppressor. While you know you're not an oppressor. But you a feminist though, but you gonna follow a man and say that you're an oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Insanity. So the quicker that black women stop needing validation from other men and take it from your sister, it will be much better off. If I tell you you look fly, and I tell you you're beautiful, and I tell you you're intelligent, and I tell you you're resilient, and you're a beautiful, strong black woman, and you the bomb.com, that should mean just as much if a Negro said it to you. And that's the problem. It doesn't mean nothing when I say it. Because I say all the time, black women are amazing, beautiful, awesome, resilient, like pearls, like rubies, like onyx, like every precious jewel that there is on this planet. That's why everybody want to be in our business. That's why everybody want to be in our space. That's why everybody want to copy us. That's why everybody watching and jocking and seeing what we doing. But it still don't mean nothing when I say it though. Y'all need some type of lame dude to say it. You know what I'm saying? And if you pay attention to these dudes, not trying to be funny and talk about people's looks, but they lame. They not sexy dudes. They not attractive dudes. They not dudes with bodies. They not dudes that y'all will really be interested in. So this is the only way to get attention is to act like this because this is the most attention these Negroes ever had, ever in their life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never see no fly dude that get girls up here doing all this hooting and hollering. Because they don't got to. They don't got to. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's the only perspective that I can give it is that we got to start putting more stock into the words of our sisters, period. Because the majority of these men, especially in online spaces, seek to only manipulate, seek to either get some money from you or get some vagina. That's their two motivations most of the time. Money, vagina, or maybe clout. So maybe three, money, vagina, and clout. That's it. If you really think they care about your plight, if you really think they understand your experience of as a black woman, I got some land to sell you. All y'all got to do is cash at me $3 billion to $ protect black women, and I got you. Protect BW. Send me $1 bajillion right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I can say about the whole situation. I don't be mad at black women for doing it. Yes, it disappoints me, but I'm not mad. The only time I really feel maybe extra sad or mad is when they come at me and call me names like I've been called names because of that video and dogged out by black women that I know I've uplifted, only spoken into life to. But the minute I said something about a man that they supposedly like so much, now all of a sudden I'm public enemy. Now all of a sudden I'm the B word. Now all of a sudden I ain't like, that's wild to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's hurtful. But anyway, let me let Sage speak. I'm sorry, I bumped my gums long enough.
So one thing that and my allergies are acting up. I just saw all the bugs and everything come out yesterday. But one thing that I've noticed about this online space is that ever since I got up here, it's been multiple men that will come up here and switch and speak quote unquote feminist talking points and to defend women. And instead of the women learning, they just hop to another man that speaks to feminist talking sorry, speak to these talking points. And I learned very early on this app not to trust any of these men, not to trust any of them at all. But I was just confused because it's like when something comes out, the very first one that I remember, one guy, when I first got up here, he's facing charges for graping his baby mama's daughter. And when it was found out, I released a video on it and I tagged him in it, and he disappeared off here. He tried to come back, but then when he tried to come back, he quickly left again. That was the first time where I noticed women, they pulled their support behind a man, and then it come to find out that he started becoming very abusive to the women. And then what ended up happening was after he was gone, there was another man. He was preaching quote unquote feminist talking points, calling out red pillars, and then he switched up on the women, start becoming abusive. And then I've seen this happen at least 4 or 5 times with a lot of my mutuals. And I'm like, when are y'all gonna learn? When are y'all gonna learn? That's my biggest issue. Cause after I seen it happen, and see, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. I've always been a person who's been isolated. I guess you could say sheltered. I keep to myself. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. Like I have one best friend. We've been friends for over 20 years. So me getting on TikTok and interacting with people and talking to people is my first real experience interacting with a large group of people like this and seeing how people move and how people operate. And I to be honest, I don't understand why black women give these men the grace and they'll sit up here and no matter how many times a man screws them over, instead of taking how they've been screwed over and applying it to the next man, they just give the next man a clean slate and then they just get screwed over again. And I hate to say this, but then they wonder if you are acting like that online, then you wonder why you're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever not baby mama. You wonder why, like, I don't know. I just and I hate to say it, but now I can see why some women end up baby mamas multiple times because it's like y'all don't learn you don't learn from your mistakes. You just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
All right, Sage. Let me go over here to Lynn. Go ahead, Lynn. You there, Lynn? Let me send a request to turn her mic on. Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
my
Okay,
bad.
go ahead.
I'm over here putting these dishes up. But no, hey y'all, hey everybody, hey Trigger. I saw your video. It was such a good video. I watched the whole thing beginning to end. And it was a good video. I support you 100% and I'm gonna stick beside you. And I thank you. I know it's not, you don't have my picture in the background or nothing, but I look at it as support of the situation that happened with me, and I appreciate that as well. I agree 100% with Sage. I have never seen anything like this. When I first came in these feminist spaces, I was excited to meet like-minded women who want to talk about like really decentering men. And I don't know if like the message got misconstrued along the way, that you know you can't you can still speak to men, but like really take the center of your life, of your focus, of your support, of your, you know, everythingness off of a man. Like try your hardest to do so. Because we all know in actuality, somewhere we're gonna come up short in doing that because the world is centered and revolves around men. Um, I'm very much so the most disappointed in the black women who supported, you know, the YT man. I'm very much so disappointed in the black women who know that the situation is wrong, but just because they, you know, wanted to take their shots at me, they ignored the situation that they knew was wrong to jump in on this situation. I was on before you put your video out the night before it. I was on Controversial Shannon's live just listening while I was talking to Tara on the phone, and we overheard him say, I don't know if he saw me come in there, so he said it, which would like I doubt it because he be having a lot of people in his life, and I try not to flatter myself like that, right? But he definitely said in a room of 500 people, you know, and stop tagging me in videos, stop tagging me in videos about Big P. Don't tag me in videos. I heard his story and I believe him, and nothing that you said is it's not true, and blah 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 blah. Like y'all gonna have to provide me with some evidence because don't do that, and da, 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 and speaking on my situation. So I was going to ignore it, and Tara wasn't gonna let me ignore it. She was like, no, I'm going up there because it's fucked up that you went that you no 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 June, no, I'll get to you in a minute. Don't do that. um you know, he Tara went up there and talked to him and told him, if you don't know the situation, because he when Tara went up there and confronted him, he flipped the script. Oh no, I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be in it. No, no, no. And then he started giving details of the story. And I'm like, where you get the details from? If you didn't get them from me, if you didn't get the details from me, you had to get them from the other side. So that's why I tagged you, because you get in a one side story. And now you're going around telling one side of the story to a mass amount of people. And that's problematic because you invalidating the black woman's story that you didn't even hear. And you can't do that. So him and Tara went back and forth, and I just sent his mom Jazz a message telling him, hey, I don't need your support. I don't need your support. But keep my name out of your mouth if you don't want to know my side, because he didn't want to know my side. So I said, if you don't want to know my side, just leave it at that, and don't mention my situation. And he said, fair, I'm not gonna mention your situation. Fine. I'm not gonna mention it again. So he ran from it too. Um, and look, when I'm speaking about my situation, we got June baby in the comments trying to sidetrack away from the message that I'm giving about the men. Um, June team was on the live where public called me mentally unstable or mentally ill. And instead of noticing that public called me mentally ill, she was focused on a man who called, not even public, a man who called her a B word. And she was forcing me to say that she was trying to force me to say that public didn't call me crazy because I had said public called me crazy. And she, say it. Say he didn't call you crazy. Say it, Lynn. Say he didn't call you crazy. Oh, come on, June. You know I'm the queen of receipts. Let's not do it. Let's not
Uh,
do it.
And you guys, I just wanted to say, like I said, I didn't know everything that was, well, let me not even say that I didn't know everything. I don't know nothing that's going on between everything that's occurred with you, Lynn, and you know, what's going on with public and the situation. I think the guy was his name Alabama or whatever.
All I know is that I can only speak on what I saw myself. Because I want to interject myself in other people's business and overstep and stuff like that. All I say is this: is that I never trusted, and I don't have a problem saying it out loud, because these men don't have a problem saying what they want to say out loud. So I don't feel like I should be afraid to say what I feel. I've never trusted public offender when he first started popping up on my feed a long time ago, and he would come in my lives and say a couple things. It's just women liked him. I just felt like he was disingenuous. I never followed him, never interacted with him. I didn't. He came to my panels a couple times. That was a long, like years ago. Never trusted controversial Shannon either. Like I said, I don't trust men that come get online. So they'll never get me, because I don't trust none of them. But I will say that when I was in the panel and I saw, I think it was you, Lynn. I think it was Mia. I think it was a woman named Tara. I have her blocked though, because she was disrespectful. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to defend black women over men, period. But I'll say, I heard them saying that they were basically, and they were admitting to it, that they were defending this white T man over you, over a black woman, and that they were defending a man over a black man, over a black woman. And to me, that was disgusting to me, to hear women that call themselves so-called feminists, so-called they want to talk about other women that have other belief systems, like, oh no, we're for women, we're for women. Well, if you're for women, then it should be for women, period. And definitely, if y'all black women, y'all know how black women are devalued. Y'all should be on a black woman's side, wrong, right, in between, period. Because if they felt like you did something wrong, they could have talked to you behind the scenes and said, hey sis, we don't like the way you did that or did that. Maybe you could do that better. Let's figure out how we can come together and get back right. But taking a stance publicly in defense of a white man, insanity. Taking a public stance in defense of a black man, insanity. And that's something that I don't get with, even though I didn't know, and I still don't know what's going on. So I can't speak, because everybody was like, oh, do you know what type of person Lynn is? Or do you know what type of person KGR is? I don't know. I don't talk to none of these women like that. But all I know is what I see. And I'm always going to defend a black woman over anybody else. I really mean that. It's black women over everything over here, period. And it's always going to be that way.
I don't
Now,
even know
as
what's
far
going on either, but I just know that I have seen it happen multiple times where the women who support public, if a woman calls out his problematic behavior or something that might have been problematic, I've seen women go on attack mode.
yes,
And
I've seen it too. I've seen it too.
the
And
first,
that's crazy to me. It's
yeah,
crazy
the
to me.
first time I remember seeing it was when let's just say there was some ableism going on, and a woman wanted to talk to him about it, and she was calling it out, and he did apologize. But what ended up happening was, as soon as he apologized to her, he started a live to talk about it. And all the black women who support him went on that live panel and coddling at him and saying, you don't owe nobody an apology. You shouldn't apologize. This, that, and third. I'm like, are you
Ridiculous.
serious right now?
Ridiculous. And see, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want women to be I don't know if the right word is triangulation for this, but I think it is. That I don't want black women to be going against each other, and then at the heart of the issue is a man. That's just, I just don't want that to happen. So I just want, even though, like I said, I'll let everybody speak. If June wants to come up here and speak to Lynn, if Lynn, you want to speak to June, I'll let y'all speak uninterrupted and not get in y'all business. But I just don't want any of us to be mad at each other over that has anything to do with a man, because I know that black women are monolithic. We'll all think differently, and sometimes we might disagree. Sometimes we might get into it each other. But as long as we can come back and get back right and be sisters at the end of the day, I'm cool with that. But I really don't want us to be at each other because of no ashy men, like, period. Especially men that look like the ones that we're talking about. Ew, ew,
Yeah,
ew,
they all
ew,
look like they need to go
ew.
to a dermatologist.
Ew. They
They
look
all
like
need a
they
dermatologist.
look like they need a deep steam, facial detox, and
A
everything else.
chemical
And it's
peel
just
on
like,
their
y'all can't,
skin, yes.
like, it's just like, come on now. We can't. These men not even, these men not the
All ugly. All of them are ugly.
I don't want to say that.
No, they're ugly. All of them are ugly. All these men in this space that's causing, girl. And when I tell you, some of
I don't
these
want to
men try to
say
come in my inbox and they try to be conversational. I'm like, listen, I don't know what goes
it.
on with other women on this app, but I'm married, and I wouldn't even talk to them even if I wasn't married.
Yeah, like I said, I appreciate all of y'all sisters. Like I really do. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all speak it. I'm gonna shut up because this ain't my business. I'm not in it, but I will let y'all speak. Did you want to speak first, June? You can go ahead.
I just walked 3 flights of stairs. Y'all can go first.
Okay. Oh, you about to pass out. Lynn, did you have
I,
something to say, sis?
of course. Thank you, Trigger, by the way. I did call you a bitch. So we now that we're past that, I have the right to do that. I wasn't on Triggered's live. I wasn't on a live that did not allow it. I did. But now, why'd I do that? Let's talk about that. Um, Public called me mentally unstable. And I was repeating back what he said and how detrimental that is to me. And it's funny because you know T. So if y'all don't believe me, bring T over here because she saw it. Mia saw it. Dark Horse saw it. I
I
have
was
the
there.
clip of it.
I,
Um,
I was there.
yeah, Miss Cat saw it. And when I said public called me crazy, June came up there or was up there, whatever, however it went. I don't remember it exactly. It doesn't matter. You came up there and was like, he did not call you crazy. He did not call you crazy. What did he say, Lynn? What did he say? What did he say, Lynn? What did he say? And I was like, he called me mentally ill, mentally unstable. He called you mentally unstable. He called you mentally unstable, Lynn. And I was like, okay, he called me mentally unstable, June. It's the same. No, say it. Say it, Lynn. Say it, Lynn. Say that he did not call you crazy, Lynn. Say that he did not call you crazy, Lynn. Say it. Say that he didn't call you crazy. This man just attacked my mental stability, and you worried about the verbiage, and you are attacking me after I've been attacked for 2 weeks. You also question the validity of my story. Meanwhile, I have receipts and I've been posting receipts on there, and you're like, you don't have any receipts. You went
I
up there
never questioned your
taping. Yes,
validity of a
you did.
story. I don't even know your story.
Ma'am, you did do that. Yes, you did. You were like, no, I don't know. I don't think public did that. I need receipts. I have June. Please let's not do this. You know I have the whole live recorded. Don't go on here lying again and have me clip this live of you saying that I'm lying and post the receipts of what you actually did and what you actually said. Don't do it. Because you know I had that shit done by the afternoon. And if I want, my girls will. Do not do that. Let's tell the truth here. Because I told the truth. I did call you a bitch after that. Hell yeah. But y'all be acting like, oh my God, I said something about your unalive grandma. And I said that, like, I'm talking about my story of what controversial Shannon and public did to me. And you in the comments talking about, but you call me a bitch. Why are you trying to take away from what I'm saying in my story? What was the point of you even saying that? What was the point of you saying that? Other than to distract
Okay.
from my story.
All right,
It's
Lynn.
rude.
Lynn, well, we'll let June respond to you. That way she can get out what she has to say. And then maybe we can because I'll probably be in the live soon. Cause I go ahead, June.
Yeah, it wasn't. Unfortunately, Lynn, you took this far too personal. I only jumped on that panel. Only jumped on that panel because you said verbatim what he said, and I wanted to correct you. He did not say you were crazy. And I also say he did say you were unstable. I never fought that. You also said he said you were hysterical. I fought that. He never said that. You brought in that. So I wasn't fighting for him. I was just asking for authenticity. Authenticity, that's all. So if you want to, yep, he said you were mentally unstable or mentally unwell. Yes, he did. I
Okay,
never
June.
did.
June, let me just say this. I like I said, this still isn't my business, but I feel like since it's on my live, I do have to say one thing.
I do feel like just a little bit of gaslighting is going on, because calling somebody mentally unstable is basically in the same realm as calling them
You are
crazy.
absolutely correct. You're right. I do
And,
agree with you.
and June, and let me just say one more thing. I do think you coming up there and trying to talk to her, or placing yourself in defense of him, because maybe you're not aware of that, but that's exactly what it is. And I do think that placing yourself in a defensive position against a black woman for a black man is really pure insanity. Like, that's something that should never be done. I can't get behind that. That's like literally nuts. That's something that I advise against doing every day. That's something that wholeheartedly goes against my morals. Like, we as black women, we all we got. And we cannot, because I can guarantee you that if you are in a position where you needed the defense against another man or against a white T man, that man that you defended and protected, he would never do it for you. He would never ever do it for you.
Can I
So
play the
that's
clip?
the only problem. You black women will continue to be taken advantage of, and continue to be abused, and continue to be taken for granted, as long as we extend grace and privileges and protections that the men never give to us. You know what I'm saying? Publix has already said, hey, my panel, my stuff ain't just for black women. It's for all women. It's for poor white people. It's for everybody. So that means that if you ever got into some smoke and you really needed him to defend you and say, oh no, you will not talk to my black sister like that, he would never do it. So you shouldn't extend protection to men that won't do it for
You
you.
know what? I had to sit in that. You are absolutely correct. I can't fight that. I had to sit in that. But in that, I was just disappointed in how it was handled. I didn't need. I was disappointed. We could have had the discussion, Lynn. We could have had the battle back and forth. But calling me names, that's the part that bothered me more than anything. So I apologize. I should not have inserted myself into that conversation, and it won't happen again. But other than that, I don't like how you handled me.
But June,
I don't really like
hold,
you, and I'm not sorry. I'm gonna be
Okay, you
honest
guys.
because the way
Lynn,
you accosted
okay,
me
Lynn, hold
is
on. I want to. Okay, so June, I probably shouldn't even have this conversation up here, because I'm not a person that likes to police people and tell people what to do, because you guys are all grown women. But I will say, if June said, she understands the position, I just don't. I just don't want us to go back into the thing about, the B word and you meaning it and all that stuff. I feel like maybe at this point we might be able to move forward. And oh, okay, I see you in the comments. You said you don't believe her. Okay, well then I get what you're saying. Well, then I think that maybe you guys can agree to disagree about it, or maybe y'all can have a conversation about it on y'all own platform, because I feel very weird about it, because I don't want to be preaching, you know what I'm saying, that we need to stick together and, for bump these dudes and then y'all going at each other. I just don't, it will hurt me to see y'all going at each other. I just don't want that to occur. But I will let you finish saying what you're about to say, Lynn. You know, if you had something.
Okay?
so. Oh, Mia have the clip, but I respect your panel, Trigger. I would never go back and forth with her in that way, but I think it's of my prerogative. It's my right to say I don't believe you. I feel like you're only doing that for a performance because Triggered is calling you out, and for some reason, y'all people have parasocial relationships with people with big platforms. I like if everywhere I move, I'm trying to tell my story, and y'all come out of the woodworks talking about, oh, you said this to me, you said that. You're trying to invalidate my story, which have nothing to do with what me and you have going on. I blocked you. I blocked you to move on. I see you in spaces all the time, and I don't be in comments. Tell it.
Oh, you muted, Lynn.
Yeah, my bad. Somebody call me. I don't be in spaces.
I got a call.
And you know what? If you know me and you follow me and you know my position when it comes to women, you know I don't do that. Turn right onto North Michigan Avenue. I'm just sorry it had to come to that. I if I share with women, and I congratulate you women. I do it all the time. I let you women let black women, the younger black women, because I find you guys awfully intelligent. I'm so disappointed that our interaction had to end that way. And when she said, I don't even want, I'm not going to dredge that up. I'm going to chalk it up as a learned experience. I should not have put myself out there. And it wasn't, and to clear the air, it wasn't here. It's not because this is not why I'm saying this. I was on another live. Sharing, listening to some white T man talk about black men. And I got up on that live and said, you know what? How dare y'all let this white man do this to black women? And they checked me. So don't feel like, don't make you, don't. I'm not sure why you said that, but let me know. I'm telling you, when I do the work, I do the work. I don't need to have a performance. I
But
don't.
but June, when
I
when
disagree.
I'm gonna
I
say this and I'm gonna
disagree.
drop because I don't want to talk about semantics. But June, when he questioned her validity or her mental state, you should have shut him down. Point blank. Period.
You're right. You got it. You're so right. I should have checked his ass right then and there. And I will be on that. You're so
Well,
right.
no,
That's
hold
all I
on.
got to
Wait.
say.
No, no, no. So I think that this is actually very perfect when we talk about number 4 of the prompt, hello host, where it says black women are still very much male centered. And the reason why I say that, right, is because um when that man spoke about Lynn and said that she was mentally unwell, your first thought was, let me defend him and gaslight and manipulate this young black woman into thinking
Actually, that's
she's
not what
crazy.
happened. But if you
No, it
need,
was. It's
you're
what happened. I
looking
was
for a
there.
way to
Go ahead and
continue this.
mute.
We
No, no,
are
no. Go
deading
ahead
this
and mute. No,
conversation,
no, no,
and you
no.
are
Go ahead and mute because I'm not done. So no, no, no. That's exactly what happened because I was there. You made it a point and you were badgering and berating her. You were
Okay.
badgering and berating her like, oh, he
Lynn. Did
didn't
I
say
berate you?
crazy. He
Lynn, did
didn't
I
say
berate
crazy.
you?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Ask Lynn, did I
Okay.
berate her?
Yes, you did.
Ask Lynn, did I berate her?
Lynn believes that you berated her as well because you did. That's what you
Looking
did.
for Lynn now.
You
Ask Lynn
did.
if I
You
berated her.
berated her and you badgered her. You did. She's
Thing, you
she's
go from
also
live
said
to
it. No, no, no,
live.
no. She also said it. She said it too that you were berating her.
Let her
You see
say it.
her in the
I am
comments. You
here.
see her in the comments. You
Allow her
did.
to speak.
June, read the
Lynn,
comment.
let me
Read her
know
comment.
how
No,
I
I know
berated you.
Fatima, I appreciate you. I'm gonna let Lynn respond, and then I'm gonna go down here to supervillain, and then we'll get back to you, Fatima.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lynn. Did you have any response to the stuff that June and Fatima was saying?
I did, but
And then I'll go to supervillain.
I was trying to respect what you said, triggered,
Oh,
because
okay, okay. I got you.
honestly,
I got you.
like I said, June, I just wouldn't do that to you. Like if we moving around in spaces, what I was saying before somebody called me, if we moving around in spaces, if you tell a story about something that happened to you, I would not be in the comments saying, "Well, you said it." I
It
blocked you because
didn't
I want to
happen,
move
Lynn.
on.
Please stop telling that
You
lie.
you
That
just did
never
it right
happened.
now. What are you talking about? What never happened, June?
Okay.
Or did you
All right, you
share
guys.
that I said wasn't true?
I'm saying that I was up here sharing my story with the
Story did you
ladies, and
share that
you
I said wasn't true,
see
Lynn?
you doing it again. This is what you did that day. I'm saying that I was up here talking to the ladies, sharing my story, and you were in the comments saying something to take away from what I was saying on the panel about a man. I wasn't up here saying
Why
I
I
don't
don't
call
fuck with
hoes
you. You
on.
are a liar. I
What are you?
never
Am I
discredit your
just
Okay.
story
All
ripping
right.
ever.
All right.
you?
All right. All right. All right. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I see Lynn, and Lynn is trying to exhibit restraint and stuff and respect my panel, which I definitely appreciate. June, you got to do the same thing, but I think that this conversation is just needs to be deaded because like you're saying you're apologizing, and you said that, but I don't know. I don't know because it's just like you still keeping this up. But hey, let me just leave it alone. I'm gonna go down here to super villain and then go to Fatima and then you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, you guys. If anybody else has anything to say before I get out of here, y'all can. But I'm about to end the live, y'all. Go ahead, super villain.
Hey, Craig, let me do some.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing my laundry, trying to support a good sis. While
Okay.
I'm on the sanitation cycle, I'm gonna say that. Yo, that sanitation. I was just telling Sage that's. I don't know if y'all got Whirlpool, but that sanitation cycle is the truth. It takes 4 hours, but my clothes be hospital ready, okay? Surgical ready, clean. Anyway, I do want to say, let me do some housekeeping real quick. Y'all tap up the screen. Trick always has a space where we can be honest, truthful, and respectful. Right? She welcomes all opinions. You just gotta follow her panel rules. She runs a tight ship. By the way, I feel a little offended, Trigger, because you didn't call me out a couple times, but I see you. I don't know if you're getting soft or you just being welcoming. But anyway, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I do want to say this. I was just concerned about if we did get to the prompt. I did want to talk about the male centeredness, and June is up here. I'm glad because she's a witness. I actually went on June's panel, and I said, you know, whatever the case may be, because I'm not going to comment on stories I don't have both sides or 100% information on, because apparently that's harmful. So I'm going to stop doing that. I do want to say this. At the end of the day, a big split has happened. Some people are no longer going to be involved in that male creator space that's very popular. I'm not even going to give it a name. My thing is, what is next? Right? I said on June's panel, the point of the whole conversation should be that the next platform that you want to mule for or build up or cash app or coin toss should be that of a black woman. I am so glad to see a lot of y'all coming over here. Now we got to get used to the rules and all that, but I'm hoping the muling and the support and the hard work is coming this way, because Triggered has said things that Public has been saying forever, and other platforms. Why is it that, I don't know if Trigger got to put on a voice changer and sound like a dude or something, but the support that that other platform was getting needs to be redirected to spaces like this. Even if we all don't get along, which is fine, because we always say black women aren't a monolith, right? We can agree with that. We know how to be in spaces where we may not fundamentally agree. Me and Trigger do it every single day. I told y'all, me and her have very opposing, polarizing views when it comes to relationships, and I be in here chilling every day. We respect boundaries over here. I just want to make sure the message that don't take your hard work and your love for a creator to another male creator. Make sure spaces like Triggered, spaces like Goldie, shit, even Storyteller, that's where y'all funnel y'all attention. To everything else, again, I'm not going to comment on things I do not 100% know or know both sides, because it's harmful. But I do want to just make sure I send that point home. What are we going to do with our energy now? Because it's okay to fall. It's about what you do getting back up. We can't continue the same behavior. Oh, my bad, Sage. We'll talk on the back end about that. But Trig, I'm not gonna be here too long. I just wanted to shout you up and give you your flowers. I'm gonna drop two comments, but I yield. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Supervillain. All right, does anybody else have anything to say before I end the live? If y'all do, y'all can go ahead and speak if you'd like.
Thank you for the space. That's all I came up. That's all I want to say. Thank you for the space. I'll
Oh, no
continue to
problem.
support you when I'm not going live, and my mom's not going live. I have a gaggle of women mods who are trying to start their platform, who support me in my platform and making video clips and stuff like that for me. So I try to return the favor to them as well, triggered. So when they not live, of course, definitely, this is one of the spaces that I try to come and I try to frequent when I
Oh, no
can.
problem, sis. I appreciate you. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
thank
gonna
you, Trigger, for having me. I'm gonna drop. I'm sorry, Fatima.
wait, no, you don't have to apologize, you're good.
Once again, I'm sorry. Thank you for having me. I'm moving around in my spaceship. I appreciate you letting me have a voice and saying what I needed to say. I will continue to support you, younger ladies. I stand behind you 110%. That's it. The end. Have a beautiful day.
All right, thank you, June. All right, Fatima, you had something to say, sis?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was gonna say that I'm respecting the rules of your live. So thank you for having me up. I do think that these topics are very very important, and there are parts of conversations that we need to be having. So I think it's important that you're having these conversations.
No problem. I appreciate you, Fatima. Was that all you had to say, Fatima? I wanted to make sure you heard because I
I
know
was
you didn't
gonna.
get a lot to say.
I'm trying to keep it cute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it cute. So yeah. No,
Okay.
but I did follow you, and I'll be frequenting your page
All right,
as
thank you
well.
so much, Fatima.
Triggered.
Okay.
Okay,
Triggered.
go ahead, Sage.
Check
Yeah.
your messages.
on this account because I messaged you.
Okay, all right, I'll check them. I'll check them right away as soon as I get off the live. All right, you guys. Well, I just want to say, if you're a Black woman and you're listening to this, I really want y'all to know that I don't know, I can't speak for what everybody else say, but when I say that I love Black women, I really mean it. It's Black women above everything over here, and I know that sometimes we may get into it and we may have disagreements, but hopefully we can come together as sisters at the end of the day. The only thing I feel like you can't come back from is like being a pick me and making like harmful things that put Black women in danger. Like, I don't know, somebody like Janine, just a girl, or people like that. You know what I'm saying? All of y'all, I support all of y'all. And even with women like that, once they get their okie doke and they come back and they need the sisterhood love, I may be here to give it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to know, as a Black woman, you are valuable, you are amazing, you are special, you are beautiful, you are resilient, you are all of that and a bag of chips, okay? I know that nobody say that no more, but y'all are. And I want y'all to know that we are very powerful, and people punch down on us because they don't want us to realize our power. So just remember that, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of y'all weekend. And I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.